We can't forget about what we're doing. We don't know what happens in the end. But I do know one thing. I'll pick up the phone and call AuditLA so we can get this shit done today. Okay, guys, I was just trying to bring in a fun intro. Didn't quite work. Let me move some things around just so when Audit gets in here, we can do a little... Okay, just kidding. Here she is. Welcome, AuditLA.
I love that. I need an animal print phone. I love that. That's amazing.
I got it randomly on our little adventures on, like, you know, those like stops where there's like random people selling things on the side of the road, you know, like they go in their little community and they all have it. Can you guys hear me? Is it loud? You guys can hear me, I'm sure. Even if it's even if this mic isn't on.
Until you needed it.
Yeah, until they're like, we can't hear you. Look at chat, so excited. Everybody's excited. Can you see chat at all?
I cannot. See, you guys have to bear with me. I go on these things, but I don't know StreamYard yet. I will get there eventually.
Okay, well, they're saying they can all hear us. They're super excited. We have 80 people now in here watching us so far. We just started, so this will be great. That number will definitely go up. Of course, they're saying it's Lara standard time because I was, 4 minutes late? Give me a break, guys. Okay, 8 minutes.
That's my fault.
6 minutes. But so, Audit, I can come and help you, and we'll set it up so you're able to use StreamYard for your own fun things to be able to do whatever you want. It's super easy, and it's actually really useful, especially with what you have. You're always trying to show, you know, files or show something, some document or something from the city or whatever. So it's a fun thing to be able to pull things up easily, especially with my brain kind of things. Didn't you work? But you worked for city council for a while, right?
Well, I was on neighborhood councils.
Or on the on councils.
Yeah, not the city council, the neighborhood version of it. But I'm not a very technical person, so I'm a not techie person. But I'd be happy to have any instructions and any help. You know, I play around with things, but I would love it.
That's good. I feel like people don't really notice that because maybe they give you the benefit of the doubt as you're driving around and scooting around everywhere. You're like getting a million things done, but you're still somehow, for me, I can't keep up with chat sometimes. And I feel like you do that really well. So I don't know. Some brains are just different.
They're the wind beneath my wings. Like,
I love that. That is true. There's it's amazing when you're in the middle of something or you're going through something and chat's there or something, you know, somebody pulls up with a tea or sends you a little money. It's just so sweet. It's really the wind beneath my wings.
And it's good at the meetings because, you know, otherwise I'd be alone doing these and like they, you know, they give me great ideas or they're, you know, when they're frustrated with, you know, they share in the frustrations, they share in the elations, whatever. So it's like you have a constant companion.
I love that. And I know this is not from LRH. I'm starting to cope with being able to agree with some of the Scientology stuff because I've realized L. Ron Hubbard really did steal all of his shit. And whether it was negative shit used to make more negative shit, then that's what's going on. Or sometimes it's actually good healing information that he used, which I call black magic, where you like turn and use it against. It's black magic's different, but where you take something positive and you just change it to do something negative. But so one of the things that Scientology does have, they say or whatever, I was getting somewhere with that. I totally just forgot when I get too much involved into Scientology, black magic, MK Ultra. Anyways, so you, back to my question, council. So you were never part of city stuff. You were just involved with meetings having to do with, you know, like the city involved in having change in the environment and things like that. Obviously.
No, I mean, I was on neighborhood council. See, it's a system where like the one I go down to at City Hall and you have those 15 people that represent, you know, all of us, whatever council district you're in probably CD13. Hugo's probably your person. Nazarian is mine. So every council district is broken up. Like the whole city's broken up into 15 city council districts but then it's broken down further into 99 neighborhood council districts who they're supposed to feed the, kind of like a relationship between them and the city council. So you can kind of, so it is an elected position or appointed depending on, so it is, you do hold a position. That's like when we go to the East, like, yeah, last night we were at Central Hollywood Neighborhood Council, East Hollywood Neighborhood Council. There's 99 of them. And I was very involved with that for quite a few years. And
wow, 99 of them. Okay.
mm-hmm.
So that's cool. And so I'm just getting there so that chat knows that I've always wondered, like, oh, Audit came in on the scene and was just kind of, I mean, the first time I met you, we were at the testing center. And we were out there and there was a bunch of people out there, and I just had seen that you kept asking very vulnerable, really like important questions. And I had noticed that they leaned toward the help of my mother or the help of my father or trying to get my dad out or some sort of abuse where you could see like, well, wait a minute, why isn't, the children, child protective services or, the elder who, is there somebody specifically that handles elderly abuse in the city?
Yes,
is it like just like children?
Yes.
Oh, there is.
No,
okay.
Yeah, there's elder and dependent adult abuse.
Okay. So even that, just learning about these things, I learned the way that the things that you were asking, the questions you were asking me personally. First of all, you're very warm and you can tell that, what are you going to do? Come and fucking attack me or something? It's not like you're going to get up and run after me and slice my throat, No. So you're very warm and humble and sweet. And I just was like, what is this lady doing? And I observe, not only I feel personally like when somebody shows up and I'm out there and they're like, oh my God, it's so good to meet you. I'm like, it's so good to meet you. Like, this is so, one person made it, everybody did that. One person came and said, oh, I'm just going to show up and see, or somebody's going to be there, I'll just show up. And everybody did that. And it created this movement. And so you were one of the first people that I immediately just felt very warm and safe with. And I don't know why, I was just like answering all your questions. And like, I think there was somebody else standing near us also asking a bunch of questions. Could have been Chris without a Hellcat or something.
I think so, yeah.
And I was just kind of like, wow, I was just like rolling off the answers like, oh, good. These are good questions. And then here we are almost 1.5 years, 2 years later. It's been almost.
Yes.
And I've learned a lot about AuditLA and what her deeper intentions are and where you're going with it. Even outside of friendships and all of that, where you're going with it legally and where you're going with it. I guess we say legally, but also with the built-in laws of our city and our rules, just the basic rules that don't even have to be taken legally. We can enforce the city to just do their job and stop allowing a mafia gang group called Scientology hiding behind a religion to get away with things that not even other churches get away with. Like, it's like, at what point does an AuditLA not step in and say, no, this is fucking not okay? Like, what point is it okay until somebody either gets hurt or some big, huge fire department situation thing happens and they can't get in because they were relying on Odo to answer that fucking cell phone? And why does Odo or whatever security guard that the fire chief at number 35 is saying that it's okay that I can just call anybody? Why is that even an okay thing? That's how mafia language starts to actually play out in action form. When you allow little things like this, and Scientology, by the way, calls it safe pointing, getting certain people and certain things done and certain people in certain positions, Janet Whelan, so that they have to, whether they're being bullied to, whether they're being manipulated in some form, whether they themselves are fucking criminals and don't give a shit and just want Scientology to get their way because Scientology's covering up for their crimes. So that's also another reason they would have to do it. Things like that. But so we have seen that they have infiltrated, just like they did the IRS. They have infiltrated here in Los Angeles, for sure, the city, for years and years and years. And so much to a point that when we're bringing up the fact that, you know, they can't have planters on the sidewalk, this violates certain codes that our group, our city, our United States has required certain laws for. And somehow Scientology gets away with that. And not only getting away with it, they actually are only doing it to stop First Amendment rights, to stop people from exposing the internal little things that they're doing. And Audit comes in going, well, look at, you know, why do you allow Scientology to do this and you don't allow the regular rules and the people that live in this area? Whether the blue building Scientology security guards like it or not, I live in this area. This is my motherfucking direct neighborhood. So eat that on a whatever they say, on a railroad track while you get run over by peanut butter. So anyways, you've been there, you're teaching us, and that's why we have you on here. I also know that we have our talks about what we are trying to put our intention specifically on, where we're trying to get certain information. There's certain people, there's certain methods we're trying to use to get certain people to wake up or to make them do the right thing, to not let Scientology use the planters to stop protesters, or to have somebody be putting, you know, felony charges on a protester who is ripping down a reef or a fake sign that says food drive here, when it's literally a whole fake setup. Also not allowed to have this shit on a public sidewalk. For months was told to get rid of it, you know, things like this. And Kendrick Moxon being a lawyer representing behind these people. So we got Janet Whelan, who we know you, I want your perspective first of all, and let's give AuditLA her perspective, because I heard, we talked a little bit about this earlier this morning. By the way, thank you to everybody who was ready to gung-ho power me through that police commission meeting this morning that I didn't know was canceled until my good friend texted me and said, no, I think I saw last night it was canceled. I'm like, great.
Yeah, I think they're having a huge strike down there, one of the unions, the county worker unions. So I have a feeling the police are probably on some kind of standby.
Yeah, I'm sure and you know, this is how it starts. People are gonna, there's strikes and and this Tuesday I will be there.
Yeah, just keep coming. Like, I'm really proud of you and thrilled. First of all, I'm thrilled that you came. I got really upset, as you know. I got myself kicked out of the meeting, which I did intentionally. I wanted to make a point.
You're so funny. Audit, you did not get kicked out. You were so funny.
I think
Scott has gotten, there's people who have gotten kicked out. You didn't like get utterly kicked out. I love that. You're like,
yes, I did.
I mean, you did, but you
get out of here. And the cops came.
But you did it in such a humble, sweet way. Like, you were like, I am going to get myself kicked out. I'm letting you know, Your Honor.
Right, but I did that because, like, it's like, and I'm like, a lot of what I do, like, what you see, that's only a part of it. There's I'm going to say probably 30 to 40% more that's behind the scenes that I can't always talk about because I don't want OSA to know, because I know they watch our stuff. But I've been bugging you for how long to come to this meeting, right? For ages. And she's there. And then and you flat out said, look, this is triggering me. I'm warning you. And then there's that element of it. So you gave them fair warning.
I'm literally sitting there, right? And I see everybody go up and do their things. And I'm kind of like, cool. And I have my mind just going in with my intention. And as it was like right when they called my name, it was just like, brrr, like literally, I'm like, everything you can think of as a child being in the cult of Scientology is thrown at you all of a sudden in that moment. And I can't say it any way clearer than that. It's a direct PTSD. I don't know if that's how it is for other people who have gone up and try to speak or do that, but like immediately anything that you're triggered by from your past is put right in front of your face. And it could be because we were literally engraved to not report things to the legal, to outside authorities. But also to have outside authorities in front of our faces means that we did something wrong, because there should be no reason outside authorities are involved in any of our past.
Right. Well,
so it's triggering
sorry. It's hard to get up and do public speaking regardless for a lot of people, right? So that's just scary enough. let alone like what you said. You're coming in with all this, like, this is like this, all those years you were told that this means you're bad, that you did something wrong, you can't do this. So I can understand how you were in that moment feeling like, well, like, you're doing the right thing intellectually, but somewhere that little, Lauren on the inside is like probably feeling like, oh, am I, like, I'm doing something wrong. And that came out. And but what that made me upset was not only that, and you had every right, I mean, like, everyone there, a lot of people there yell at these people, they have failed you. I mean, let's face it, LAPD has failed you and every other victim there. But I don't like the fact how she was, and there's the other element that you're not a regular gadfly. Like, if she had done that like that to the people who go regularly, who really know the laws, the rules of meeting and decorum and all that stuff, okay, she would have better leg to stand on. But you're new to these meetings. You don't know that, because you really did stop talking about the issue. You were just asking her, did you hear me? A simple, yes, I heard you. In fact, I would like to have an officer speak with you to see if there's anything we can do. That should have been her response. And that's the response I would have expected.
And
So
it could have been as simple as that. Like, hey, thank you. Yes, I did hear you. We can have Jim. She could have looked over at Jim and said, have so and so. I'm sure she fucking knows some of the names of some of the police officers that work under her or whatever. I'm sure that she could have said, why don't you have so-and-so who's the head over this East Division, whatever, have a direct conversation with her so that they can understand not to interrupt the protesters that directly came from this. Like, even anybody supporting people who have firsthand knowledge. And why not lean more toward the help and the support of protests going on instead of defending that when that is literally our American given right? One
I
of
think
the
that's a,
things we have in our country is free speech.
yeah.
And our First Amendment, like, whether people like that or not, and to the only way somebody can destroy that is by doing what Kendrick Moxon is doing and throwing people into legal court situations that are just fraud, and they're just being used to let Scientology win in these situations. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
That's
So
okay.
you
I
would
mean,
just think that she could have
yeah.
just said, I hope that so and so. I
Well,
hope
no, they
so and so
normally
will.
do. No, they normally do. If there's a victim there, they normally have the OIG. Okay, we're going to have somebody go meet with you, and like they
Yeah,
normally
take
do
a
that. So
report and
I,
see what's up.
right, and that's how they are supposed to. So that's why I'm on her for that. But she that day was taking over for the for Earl Southers. So I don't know if she got like a little bit of, I don't know, because that's not her normal MO. So I was really upset. So I, yeah, I wanted to take a stand because I don't that I like I beg I'm like, and I said I begged her to come. She comes, and I'm so thankful it didn't derail you from coming again. That it actually motivated you to keep coming back, because a lot of other people may they may not be at a point of strength at that time to be able to face that again.
Yeah.
So I give you so much credit for that.
Thank you. And I also know that I can I want to be clear for myself. I want to be bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. And it's so funny. The only way to do anything like this is to do it once, just to do it the first fucking time, because the first time
Hmm.
is the fear. It's all the adrenaline. It's all the stress. You do it. And then you go, oh, I know how to handle that PTSD the next time I go up. But
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
you
know that
survived
that
it.
would happen. I didn't know I would have back. I didn't know what would happen. And that's the thing. We don't know. We don't know what happened in the end. Sorry.
But now you know. I'll keep that. I won't let. But that's what happens. And I'll talk while you're get it all out, and that's what happens. And she did it wrong. And I had to have my little stand because it was just so wrong. And like, I mean, a part of me is like, okay, maybe, like, I should use my words, but I wanted to make a point that when victims are here, because they were very respectful to other victims who have come up. And for me, I guess I feel like there's a little bit of prejudice about the Scientology topic. Like, you bring up Scientology and, you can almost feel the eye rolls, like you're the kooky one in the room because you're talking about Scientology, not that, and so there is, I think, a little bit of prejudice in that sense of
And
being
that's what
anti
I'm trying to get
Scientology.
rid of. That's kind of what I was trying. You can hear my voice cracking in
Mhm.
there, but I was trying to get rid of that, like, connection, that, like, that, like, being nice to Scientology. And it's like, why? what is this unfairness? And if we're here at your meeting talking about it, there must be a bigger issue if you think this is not as important as it fucking feels for us.
Right.
You know, and that's what I was trying to get across, is just like, stop taking checks from them. Stop getting anything from them. Stop interacting with them if that's all that you think you're doing, because you're doing something.
Get them off your CPAP. Stop doing the checks. Stop doing the cleanups. Because, even, the other day when Will confronted the mayor on this platform with the mayor, apparently there was two volunteer vulture ministers, whatever you want to call them, with the
Volunteer
mayor
ministers, yeah. The
on
vulture
her
ministers.
platform. So what does that tell you? You know what I mean? So
wait, so she had two volunteer ministers on her platform?
that's what I believe so, because I got a glimpse of Natalie had a thing, and she's like, look, there's two. I couldn't I didn't watch the whole thing yet, but I believe she did, and that was caught, but just because Will was there with his camera, and yes, and so if that's the case, then what does that tell you? I've been going to the mayor's office for months now, and usually you can get a rep or someone to call you back. Somebody, not her herself, but the reps. They have never called me back. They keep saying, oh, that they gave it, say, well, you call us. I called them. They don't answer. It's been months. Like, nobody in the mayor's office will interact or answer questions to me.
And that's why, and this is why we're here, guys. This is why we're here. Me and Audit alone, just even, we have definite missions where we definitely want to, if it's not Karen Bass, who is it that is who's feeding information to Karen? Who's getting Karen to sign things off, right? That's one thing. And then Janet Whelan, what are the deep ties and connections that Janet Whelan has to be there and be emotionally so attached that she can't even answer and talk to anybody about something that she apparently cares so much about?
Right. I hear now
she cannot have a conversation. Audit. She has not once had a conversation with you. Why not? Why does she keep running?
Terrified.
Why? Why though?
I don't know.
For somebody being in the position, even if her freaking job is to be a relay between the city and Scientology, let's just say, because that's what she's doing, right? So even if she was open about that and clear, why are you not talking to outside people that have interest in trying to shut down Scientology? Wouldn't you think that that would be an interest to you?
Absolutely.
Don't you think, Karen?
I asked in the meeting, why wouldn't she just, if they don't want us there, or if they don't want you there in particular, why not just give you an update on your father and how he is and let you talk to him for 10 minutes? They don't want to answer it. I've brought that up at meetings.
That's a good point too. Like, let me have a, if my father really wants to be there, and if what we're shouting every day and protesting about isn't happening, prove it. Let my father come out and tell me himself with his own mouth to my face, because clearly when I was lied to about being able to be on the sidewalk, when I did finally catch my dad randomly shouting his name, he fucking definitely knew it was me. I could have been walking with my father that day. I can't get over this. And the only reason I didn't is because I was listening to the police officer's quote orders that he said he had seen the permit and that the sidewalk was closed, and it wasn't until there was a random person observing who knew the laws came by after I saw my father and said, I just saw everything that happened, and said, I have been seeing students walk through the sidewalk, yet you're choosing to specifically not let this group of people use the sidewalk. And he said that's a violation, and this is somebody who's told me he has sued the city before. So he knows what he's talking about, and he has won.
Also, it's called prior restraint and viewpoint suppression, and it's illegal. That's what they did to me on Easter Sunday. You know, you can see the people they letting in, and then me, no. And then the police did come, because now they changed the permits finally with all the pushback. So on page, because what would happen is they would have page 1, which says they got all the closures, sidewalks and everything. But you'd have to look at page 2 to know that it's vehicles only, not pedestrians. But they have corrected it. Now it's on page 1. So the officers got to read that because they had to provide it. And
And
so they're like, she's right.
I wonder who caused that change.
A lot of pushing on the city. Yeah, so a whole lot.
And it is, and it's all of us, you know.
Yes. Group.
There's you pushing through and just being like, why does a quote church of Scientology not allow a disabled, handicap, I don't know, whatever the
Or
proper term is,
anyone. It's open to the
anybody,
public. It's open to the public.
but even that though, why would you close? What event is so important in Scientology, the Church of Scientology, that you can't even have somebody just roll down the sidewalk?
Right.
Like
Easter. I mean,
on Easter. And don't you want people to come in? To me, it's always like again, if the police officers are going to wake up and see this, they're going to start saying that's true. They don't allow this. They do say all are welcome. They don't allow all to come.
Yeah.
They do have programs to, quote, help the homeless and all this. None of them are working. They literally send people away when they come to the Blue Building just to get a fucking sip of water or a snack. Nope, out of here. But they'll wait until some PR person or newspaper will come and do a report, and all are welcome all of a sudden.
Yeah,
you know?
I saw. Yeah, there's an unhoused person that was allowed to go to the Blue Building on Easter Sunday. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I guess because there's a lot of cameras here right now.
Exactly.
It's all
No,
PR,
and
yeah.
so we barely see some of Scientology's camera footage, right? It always gets until you get into court or there's some situation and we were able to get like a 30-second clip of something they'll let out in Discovery or whatever, right? And they've got these insane cameras. They have everything everywhere. They can see anybody from miles away. Hawk vision, like,
yes, they saw a fire on Edgemont and were able to call in the fire department, and I know that's a couple blocks over, right? And they were able to see it. And then Janet was bugging the LAFD in the city for months to get some kind of like applaud letter for them, because the city's starting to get a little bit sick of them. You know, they're being invited. Like, I know Hugo was invited to their campus, he turned it down. Earl Southers, the president of the police commission, declined the invitation. So little by little, I think people are starting to realize, we don't really want to be seen in public doing this. But then they recently just had a fire.
But of course they don't. Of course they don't. Why? You should say why.
Because they're getting roasted. They know I'm going to be. I roast them.
I also noticed. This just random side thought. I'm like, I go in a chat. My right eye is looking at chat every once in a while.
I see that. Well, Jennifer, right.
I'm going to pull up some of these.
Yeah, that's true. Like, you know, and I'm honored, you know, but and I know that
barriers need to be, yeah. And the fees and all this, there's so much that they get away with.
Yeah,
sure,
well,
do it. Why are you not being charged then? Right.
Right. You know, well, supposedly they are being prosecuted, but when and where, you know, we're not really hearing anything about that. So, but then, you know, you move a Christmas wreath that was, I believe, ordered to be taken down anyway. And it was helped along.
And the planters were too.
Right.
And not only that, on the police footage, the body cam, the first thing the police officer asks, leaned to his partner or to the security guard who was coming up. And he said, why do they have them all the way over here? And he said, this is city property, though. He literally says that before he even takes the report from Adam, the security guard.
So, yeah, I mean,
so he's just doing his job. He makes his first observation, and then he goes and takes the report. And then in the report, on the report, it said the planters were only worth $150.
See, and so for it to be a felony, it has to be more than
over 500. And they can't take each one and make it all one felony when they're charging him individually. So it's pretty interesting. I think you see where I am in terms of legal terms of, because behind this you have the city attorney or the city's technically prosecuting Scott, right? But then behind the city is Moxon and Jennifer literally directly talking to the assistant attorney in the hallways and making sure that this case gets pushed through. So I'm kind of putting a book, like little booklet and packs together where I can anything can be with that has all of Moxon's fraud from his past court cases, from his past, for the Lisa McPherson case, false. When he was in the Guardian's office, Moxon has been in Scientology's legal funding money pocket for years. He's been doing this. He has been violating the law and covering up federal crimes, and then later saying, "Oh, I didn't know they were false documents." That is bullshit. This guy needs to be fucking in jail. This guy needs to be in prison.
I agree.
Well, you know, and some of the is a federal criminal, fucking lying, like fraud law. Like, so what we're doing, this is a huge issue. This is not like a light issue. Kendrick Moxon needs to be brought to justice. He needs to be seen by a fucking federal judge who sees his ongoing behaviors for the last 40, 50 years in Scientology.
True. Well, I know the bar is about looking into him right now.
100% and more than that. But part of that is for those listening right now, I need, if you think you've already sent it, send it again. Look what I can do. Look what I can do.
But you know, there's a CPRA of him pushing.
Look at
attorney.
Look at what I can do.
Oh, I love
just email me right here.
That. Yeah.
Well, you just pre-type them in and you get to have whatever you want. So, but if you guys can email me anything having to do, if I don't have it for some reason, I do have the main Operation Snow White stuff. But if you have anything specifically having to do with Moxon's daughter, who unalived herself in the Sea organization, who then they later tried to say it was her trying to save a squirrel from, you know, getting electrocuted. So that, all of that, any details of that whatsoever, I'm getting a lot of the details, but again, I'm going to repeat myself over and over, and same with you for the people that for Janet Whelan, and same with Kieran Catano. Kirsten.
She's now Peterson.
Now her name is now Kirsten. She goes by Kirsten Peterson. But in this organization, wait, for people listening, Kirsten, it used to be Kirsten Catano. She used to be married to Kevin Catano at the Gold Base. That is what we know. I do know that Kevin Catano would deal with all of the, you know, unalivings and all of that kind of shit, because he was more of like an RTC security guard. When there was a child blown from the property for more than 24 hours or something and nobody knew where they are, it was like, oh, Kevin Catano, all the execs were at the base. It was like a big deal. He was married to Kirsten. Kirsten knows long-term, so much so that she is now the head. If not, even if she's been the head, just being hiding, she is the person right now above, that is the head of OSA, if not above them. So she knows. Kirsten, we know that you know everything going on. Kevin Catano, your ex-husband, there's a reason that David Miscavige has you in the position you are in right now, Kirsten Peterson.
Yep. I've got to get that name out because they want to hide their names. Now it's time to expose the names.
Yeah, so Kirsten Peterson is the one who is very much involved in the internal doings of Scientology crimes and illegal tactics. Very much behind the scenes,
right? She took over Mike Rinder.
Yeah. Rinder. Yeah. That is what's being said. I'm never going to say this is definite unless I know it's definite.
Right.
But what I do know is that Kirsten Catano, now Peterson, is definitely somebody that is in cahoots internally with the city and with people from the outside world of Scientology, where she knows who needs to be safe pointed. She knows who needs to be told what the fuck to do, and she knows why it would benefit Scientology or why it would take down Scientology. So
she did meet with the captain of Northeast Division.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I confronted the captain about it.
Was that recent?
I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the facts with me, but I did talk to him about it, and he said he doesn't recall exactly why they met, but he did meet with her, and he goes, he meets with a lot of different they want to worry about security. I'm like, oh, it's probably about the protesters, but he didn't confirm or deny. He's a captain. He's not going to give me all that. But he did confirm that he did meet with her.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. So we have, so for you, hi,
Me too.
Mr. Laura
Yeah, we have
DOA.
to hold him accountable. Well, another, can I add on
Yeah,
Moxon?
yeah.
I have CPRAs of him trying to intervene with the CPRAs, even with Jessica trying to get the street closure, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that between him and Janet, because I think if I'm understanding correctly, they're trying to wobble his misdemeanors into felonies, which they did. But also, there's a guy at the city meeting, and he was there today, and I couldn't be there today. But he was just telling me randomly because he's like he helped a lot of people. He goes there. He was telling me about the wobbling, what they do to bring it up to felonies. I said, oh, we have a protester going through that right now. And he's like, well, give him my number. He needs to talk to me. And like he's reminds me of the guy from I can't think of like I forget the movie Back to the Future, or whatever, Doc or whatever. So
Oh yeah, yeah. He's like, "Wah," kind of like
yeah, so he's like kind of a
talking
wild guy, but he's
wild,
like,
but has some good information that actually might save
yeah, well,
somebody's
he helped
life.
a lot of people, like, not get rid of their charges, but bring it down because it's illegal. A lot of what they do is illegal, and that's what he's been fighting against because the city attorneys do that anyway, try to kick it up, And so I'm like, I want to see what he has to say, and then I could always pass that information to you, call him and pick his brain. He might have some really good information.
Yeah, I would love that. Here's another thing. Here's an angle that Tori just also
Oh,
wrote
wait,
here.
Kirsten's a big.
Kirsten is a big name. They do not want spoken. Say her name. You are right, Lara. Tori, if
Say her
you could
name.
speak more about that, Tori, if there's
Yes.
any details, literally, Tori, any details of what Kirsten liked, and same with actually, okay, this is perspective I was going to talk to you about. AuditLA has a perspective, guys, where she thinks, and I understand this perspective, where she feels like Janet obviously is being manipulated and pulled, and we believe her son had to leave and then had a freeloader bill and all of this, and so even if she's paying a freeloader bill for him or making sure he's in good standings so that they could still be close, that means that Janet is probably really connected to her son, or even if they dislike each other, she still has a heart to be wanting to be in touch with her son. So I guess AuditLA has a more of a direction of trying to get into Janet's heart and say, Janet, we feel like you're being forced to do this, or get her to a position where if she's going to feel like she has to keep doing this, then they're going to have somebody else do it because you're going to get to her heart, I guess, enough. I don't know. But yeah, so Audit has a different way about it. I want you to tell chat what you want, because any information we can get you with whatever plan you have in your heart and you know how to do things, then that's what I want to help you do, because I've seen you get a lot of shit done. So I go for the people who are getting shit done. Like I said, I don't give a fuck how many followers I have. I don't give a shit. If I have a group of followers who are supporting us 100% and are fucking there through the bad, the good, and everything, then great. That's the following I want. I don't want a bunch of kiss-ass bullshitters that are going to be flying away when the shit gets heavy. No. Get the fuck out of here, because the ship only wants people that are strong enough to take down Scientology.
And it's a long game. It's not a quick game.
It's a long game, and there's so many ways to do it, and nobody has the fucking recipe. In fact, there is no one recipe.
But you got to attack from all angles. Like if everyone circles, everyone has their arrow, right? Everyone has their thing. Mine's the meetings and all that stuff. Somebody else is going to be in front of blue, in front, whatever. And it's all, putting out posts, whatever it is, whatever your job is, just do it to your best. But with Janet, I guess, I was really hard against her, but somebody I don't know if I should say it out loud, but softened my heart towards her because I'll just say it was Mike Brown, and his mom, I believe, were roommates with her, and
Rosemary.
Yeah, Rosemary, and she softened
Say the
my
names. We're going to
heart.
say the names. I'm not just saying because people don't know who we're talking about. Mike Brown, he was born and raised pretty much in the Sea Org. I would just say he was born and raised in the Sea Org, but I was born and raised in the Sea Org. I guess he came in a little, but either way, his whole life was in Scientology because of his parents. And then his mother, Rosemary, we all knew Rosemary at the Gold Base. Everybody, almost all the kids at the Ant Ranch knew Rosemary Brown. That's what she was going. She went by then. Now she goes by Rosemary Chatwick. And right, is that it? Chatwick? Did I just make that?
I don't know her name.
Am
I
I right?
submitted questions for her and she answered because I was really curious because I like to get background and everything. So I did a big dive on Janet, and that's where I kind of am on the thing. Okay, you know what? She's 80 years old. She has a son. She's I hear she's very, very ill as far as with arthritis. It takes that they dress her up and send her out. That she's not really in charge of her like as she used to be. It's more
So
like they
let me
drag her
tell
out.
you that perspective right there a little bit, just because every time you bring it up, when you say that they dress her up, da da da. I want to say you're absolutely correct in this. Okay. So when I was in CMO, even when I would go out to be with David Miscavige, Mark Yeager, all the executives, Mike Rinder, when I was with them, my uniform was approved or even bought and by Valerie Haney. Valerie Light, who was above me in RTC at the time. She was, being a messenger or a steward for David Miscavige. And she would be like, oh, you can't, like, she knew the standards and would be like, wear this is Ann Taylor. Like, and it was so insane how I could feel the difference in what I was wearing compared to the uniforms I had worn my whole life.
Yeah.
The moment I started running, Rosemary Chickwalk, that's right. The moment I started being a messenger runner girl, that's what they said. She's a runner. I would just be running around for the executives during the Lisa McPherson case for like 6 months. So when they put me, and then I was in 6 months in all these nice clothes that I never got. In fact, Marty Rathman, like, heard it was my birthday or something. So he ordered one of the assistants, probably Valerie, to go buy me Ann Taylor like a nice outfit because I never had a fucking nice outfit before. So there's these weird, I know this is going to sound weird to you, but you'll get this, I think, Audit. There's this weird appreciation and care and love that you feel that you're getting when you're working with these people, when you're so deprived, when you're so abused, when you're being so mentally controlled, that when they're like, oh, they give you a pair of Banana Republic pants and a new belt, you feel like you want to work with them forever. You feel like, oh my God, I look so good. I feel so good. I'm on a good mission. And so that is a very key point. No Sea Org member is allowed to wear civilian, they literally call them civvies, civilian clothes, and unless it is literally pre-approved and authorized by your seniors, your people above you. So Janet, I'm not sure. I wonder if Janet wears a uniform all the time, but then when she's going to these meetings and meeting people, she has to dress as much as she can to represent Scientology low key.
Well, from what I found out, because I did a deep dive, thanks to Rosemary, that she comes from wealth. She came in very wealthy, so she has her own money, and that all her clothes, they do allow her that because of all she's done, that it does not have to wear a uniform. She does have this exception, but she has to buy all the clothes with her own money because
See,
she's wealthy.
This was another thing that they did. They said, so fucked up, is that if you have the money or if some reason, it's really fucked up because for me and my family, I wasn't even allowed to get to know my family members, but that was okay because they could get all the information from my mom and dad. So they already knew about my family members outside of Scientology more than I even fucking knew, any of them, period. So they were able to control who was allowed to talk to who and if I was allowed to go be with that aunt or not, right? But the other thing is that if they know you do have money, they almost let you, they're going to hold you in the Sea Org, make you feel important, make you feel like you're really such an important thing in here. But because you have money, We're going to not put you high up where you know where we're putting all this money. We're just going to keep slowly draining it from you, just like we do to other thousands of Scientologists that we have under our belt.
Right.
And most of the time that comes from, most of the time it comes from that person doing something financially fraudulent with their money. And Scientology says, well, if you're doing it for us, it's the greatest good. So we'll let it slide. You've been getting away with it for 20 years now. So.
And she's been in it forever. But I was also told
they're using up her money. And that is why it's important to get to her son. I want to know, you said her son may have just recently left or whatever.
No, it was like 10 years ago. It was like 10 years ago.
But he's not old. He's not an old guy. Like,
he's,
you know,
he
must
40s,
be 40s.
I believe, early 40s.
I'm almost 40. Yeah. I could be like, hey, buddy, how are you? That would be funny if they're like, we have to get
that going. I hear too that she's still that she was still I believe she was allowed to visit her son once or twice, but that she was also able to go visit her. Now this is kind of weird. Her husband remarried, but I am told that she's still in touch with his family. That's maybe because of the son. I don't know, but she's still.
It is because of the son and the money. The money is probably bloodline money or whatever. It comes partially from, you know, mixed families or whatever. Right. That's it. And also, it's so hard to say that. It's so hard to say that because Janet would be so insulted. No, we're not about money because I only get $50 a week. If I was about money, I would have never joined the Sea Org, you know? Right. But it is. The fact is your fucking ass is getting drained of your money. You have no control over your fucking money. And even when you're having fun with it, you think you have control and they are wondering, she just spent $300 at that game. Maybe we should get her in session on the next thing. You know, they're watching everything. So yeah, her son would be very interesting. If anybody knows Janet Whelan's son, he's here in Los Angeles, apparently. I'd love to meet up.
We'll talk more on the,
yeah. I'd love to have a conversation. I'm down to have hard conversations with people who are even mentally still in it that want some sort of guidance to get out, but they need that hard talking to or whatever. I'm down to do that. Full of love, by the way.
Well,
I'm not here to rip apart Janet. Okay, well, I'm not here to rip apart. Oh, he left at 32?
He was 32 because I believe he wanted to get into the film industry. So I have a lot of info.
When you say left,
we'll talk later.
Okay, but I'm just letting for chat know to let chat know as well. If there's more info, great. But
he left.
Anybody. I like this, not to be weird, but I like the fact that he's not above 40. He still has some, and that he didn't leave like a year ago. I think that's very beneficial
he left
for us.
I think he's 42, and he left at 32 to pursue a career in film.
Okay. Wow. So he was in the Sea Org, or you think he just left?
Yeah, I think he was born and raised, like, because both parents were Sea Org.
Okay. We're going to do some more research on this. I like it.
I have some stuff to...
Okay, good. So guys, so yes, any info on Janet Whelan, please send to AuditLA. AuditLA, what? I'm going to actually type in your thing right now. Hold on.
Audit.in.LA.
Hold on.
And we need Susanna Furious.
It's audit.in.LA.
That's it. Yeah, I couldn't get Audit.LA. So.
Oh my God, no, but that's so good just to easily remember. Audit.la.in.
No, .in.
Audit in LA.
Well, audit.in.LA.
That's what I mean, though. It's audit in LA at gmail.com. Okay, I'm going to put this up. All right.
Yeah, I have a lot of I really want background story because I'm about relational things too. And I'm also about, but we protested the other day. We called out to Janet. And if you notice, she did not attend the CPAP meeting. So
that is super. No, that is a huge, I want to point that out. Janet did not show up to the CPAP meeting after very humbly and also with a lot of emphasis. AuditLA mentioned how very connected Janet Whelan is to Scientology and how there's no budge. And I cannot imagine if she is the one in the office, literally like, oh, is that a Scientology thing? And they throw it over to her kind of a thing. Oh, that's a Sciento thing or whatever they say. She's responsible. They're going to be like, oh, Janet Whelan is. They're all kind of not looking at her, but going like, oh, she is doing all that.
Well, I think they're not also letting her, because you're over on the other side protesting you over
That's
there,
true.
and I was telling her, I'm like, Janet, we'll get you out of here. Just blink once at CPAP, and that means you want to go. Blink twice means that you want to go, but you're not ready. Blink three times, you change your mind, because I know you want out. And they didn't send her. They're not going to send her after that because they don't know who's talking to me,
And it's not only that, it
and I'll
has to
never
be
tell.
something bigger for look. So I just put up here, Tori said Janet has compassion for the kids roped into the Sea Org. That could be, that's what I'm talking about, her son. That's what I'm
That's what we
talking
need.
about, is
Mhm.
that if there's anything left of Janet that literally hasn't been hypnotized and blanked away by auditing and sec checking, it's her son. It's probably her
Mhm.
son. You know, there's something there. And I hate to like attack the love button, but that's what that Scientology does is, and it's almost like better that we give her love back to her. And if that's a way to give love back to somebody to make them wake up to change for the bigger and for all of the kids that have been in Scientology and the Sea Org, then shall be it.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it.
Yeah, I
So
don't hate
you
her.
go,
Like
you do
I
your
don't want
way.
her on
I
CPAB anymore, and I don't want her having influence. But I don't wish her ill. I would love her to reunite with her son and wake up and say, "Oh my gosh, what did I do?"
And it's
And
also not, it's also you're setting an example for any cult that is being bullied by somebody on CPAP, any or anything.
Mhm.
And for any future people think that it's okay to fucking hide on a CPAP board under it being a full-blown Scientologist.
Right, and now
Because
the E
Janet
bid
Whelan
too.
is, I believe, OT. I'm sure Janet's up there
Oh
in
yeah, I mean,
terms
I'm
of
sure she
auditing.
is. I'm sure,
Tori,
and
Tori was in the chat. I don't know if you are still are.
Corey might know that.
Tori, do you know if Janet, like, if she ever? Oh, whoops! I think I just messed something up. No, I didn't. Okay. Do you know if Janet actually is on? Like, did you personally see her on course or doing auditing or auditing her body thetans there at the AOLA? Okay, so the first, yes. So Janet Whelan. Now you guys gotta get the
Yeah,
perspective of why, because Janet Whelan is right there in all the documents and all that. But above her is Kieran Catano,
Pat
Kirsten
Peterson. Yeah.
Peterson, Kirsten Peterson. Okay,
But then we need to
Mike
go
Brown.
lateral too. I need to mention laterally because
Okay,
I bumped
what do you
into well,
mean laterally?
okay, because Kirsten's going up and down. Okay,
Up and
laterally
down?
just
What do you mean? People don't know what
like,
you mean. We only
oh,
know
I'm
what
sorry.
you mean.
Okay, Kirsten is above her. Okay,
Yeah.
but next to
We're
her, I
talking
guess
about right now. Audit is talking about the C organization org board. They call it
the
the
org
organization
org.
board. It's called the
Okay, well,
org board. And Kirsten Peterson's position on that org board is orgs above Janet.
yes, yes, and Janet's
Okay.
high, and Janet's high.
Organizations above. And Janet is high in the organization that she's in.
Yes,
So
but
Kirsten is above that, right below David Miscavige.
right. And laterally is what I'm saying is a counterpart to Janet is Susanna Fournames, Furios Johansson, who sits on the East Hollywood bid. I'm also trying to get her removed. I have filed a formal complaint because in order to be on the bid, which is like what do you call it? The bids are the ones that deal with the cleanups and the beautification, like Chamber of Commerce, that they have to be the business or owner, whatever property owner, but they had to be in good standing. And I'm like, they're not in good standing if they're being prosecuted for these ADA violations. So I do have a formal complaint in to have her removed because for Scientology, they need to be removed. I'm sorry, I guess I'm announcing that to OSA now. Maybe I shouldn't, but it's Jeff anyway. So I guarantee you he told them. And so, but so she's the Janet counterpart. So we need to know who she is because she needs to be plucked out. We need none of these people on any boards unless they are representing themselves.
So
If
is that somebody
Scientology
we
is
can
sending them, they can't be on these boards. Conflict of
Yeah, is
interest.
that somebody we can specifically find out? Or do they hold a position that you need
Yes,
to know
they're
that
on.
person's
Yes,
name?
they're on the bid. Everyone knows them as, we joke. She was with, when I bumped into her at City Hall, Susanna was with Janet. So I kind of feel that Janet, I mean, not Janet, I kind of feel that what's her name? Was I Furios, Susanna Furios, is maybe becoming the next Janet. Maybe she's in training to be the next Janet,
It could be.
because
It could
Janet's
be
already
that.
80. She doesn't have much time in this.
And it's not
And
only that Janet was losing her TRs and everything when you were there. And it's probably causing her a lot of stress.
Probably. And I'm sorry, Janet, let me help you by getting you out, with all the
What do you
love.
mean? You're so cute.
No,
You're like, I'm sorry, I'm removing this cancer out of your
yes,
fucking
no,
heart.
no, I'm
That's
not
gonna,
sorry for like, it has to
I'm
happen. She has
sorry
to
it
be removed.
hurts,
But
but
let us
hurt
get
is
you out of
gross.
Scientology and help you on the road to healing and family unification and all these good things, Janet. It's waiting for you. And we want that for you.
Yeah,
And
and
yeah, I
also
think that
Sue
she's
said,
definitely her replacement. Yeah.
okay, so that's good to know. So you need to find out we need to find out who that is, who that next appointed person that's being safe pointed by Scientology.
Well, no,
Sue.
she has position because she's on the bid. So she holds a high position. She is a minister.
Oh, and she's like it's not CPAP, it's
It's a
something
separate, it's
separate.
similar, but
Okay.
different. It's not the police, it's Chamber of Commerce. It's like just, that's what I mean. She's lateral. Janet
And
sent to CPAM, Susanna sent to the bid.
yeah, and
Okay.
Auntie M said Janet works at Blue. Yes, Janet works, and from what
And
I know,
lives.
Janet lives at the Blue building,
She
which means
does.
she is in the Sea organization. Look at my weed blowing
She
out as
lives
I
on the
must
second
say this.
floor. She lives in a room with like 12 other women. They have a bathroom, but it's not ADA compliant. And they have a kitchenette. And that's considered good digs. That's considered like high end because she has like a little
She's got it good.
kitchenette. She's got it good. And I
And
trust
I'm
the source
telling
on
you,
that.
these are the things that I did that I had. They were like, oh, Megan, everybody knew me as Megan in the Sea Org. They were like, Megan, Mr. Anderson is, I would be waking up early to iron Mark Yeager's shirt, to iron Mike Rinder's shirt, to get all their uniform. I would clean it, wash it, do it all. They went to bed. Then I would go get it all done, get 2 hours of sleep, wake up, bring it all, get it ready, bring it to them and wake them up.
Oh.
I literally would be waking up the executives, okay, with all their clean laundry and everything all set to go. And there's some weird, it's like if you work for the president, right? Go figure. I'm just saying a president. But like, you're obviously not going to be allowed in the president's office or whatever unless you look sharp and how they expect you to look and be. And whether that is the president, somebody saying, go get them a size 8.5 shoe now. That's what I would do. I run and go get that and make sure they were perfect. Go do this. I would, yes, sir. And there's some sort of degree. It's so fucked up. It's so manipulative. And this is so Scientology, is that when you're getting nurtured in any kind of way, because of the position you're in, whether that's financial, whether you're donating, whether you're in a fucking police position, whether you're in the judge position, whether you're a lawyer, whether anything that could take possibly down Scientology in a legal, official way, they need to safe point that. And
Right.
so Janet is getting the kiss-ass donations and awards and this from David Miscavige. And she's not going to stop because even that acknowledgement from David Miscavige alone is enough to keep her going. And the only thing that isn't is her family, possibly her son being like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Her son calling her out, or her son. But it has to be, the fucked up thing is it has to be rock bottom. It's almost like an addict. You have to hit the rock bottom where you almost are like, all right, I'm either going to die and do this, and she's almost there. She is going to die. She's going to keep doing it until, and the things that keep her there are the fancy, nice clothes and the this that she gets. Cause they're like, oh, Janet, we know you have money. We're going to make sure we get you fucking the top of the line Prada.
But she could do that on her own.
That's what they forget about, though.
I know, like you're
it's
wealthy.
That David Miscavige knows that so David Miscavige does this to my own mother. David Miscavige often has bought in her the new top of the line fucking camera. Her camera. Loves photography. What Sea Org member really is going to do anything with photography outside of the box of the gold base? Right. And let me tell you, the pictures she makes and does on her 1 hour of free time, I guess, with the birds at the lake that land at the palm base. I mean, the gold base, like, get that one beautiful shot of peacefulness and quiet. She literally remembers her life so that she can continue moving forward in her bad actions that she thinks are good. Well, so I was in the same way, Janet, all these people, even Kirsten. Who the fuck is Kirsten?
Yeah.
Well, we know internally, but what is she getting? Guess what David Miscavige knows? Everything about Kirsten. Sadly, he knows everything personally, sexually. He knows everything about Kirsten Peterson. Kirsten Peterson, you're watching this? Ever thought about that? David Miscavige knows how the fuck you react to your own body sexually. David Miscavige knows how you think, who you have a crush on, who you possibly might like in the Sea Org that you're flirting with right now. He has tabs on your every fucking move. And that is the reason you're in the position that you're in, Kirsten Peterson. And you also have like 5 other names, by the way. It wasn't just Catano. Yeah, I'm like, whatever name. So any Kirsten having to do with Scientology, in or out, let me know, please, right away. Any messages? And Audit has the other names. There was somebody who put in there, and that's just one of her 5 other names.
Yeah, it's like 5 names. And Janet, too, I was told that has really bad arthritis, so it's extremely painful. So when they drag her to the meetings, and I know they drop her off or whatever, because I don't see her driving. I don't think she can anymore. And it takes her days to recover. She's in so much pain. But the reason she does it, they said, is that she does not want to become a burden. So she keeps pushing and doing what she's told because she doesn't want to become a burden. I don't think she really wants to do this anymore.
Number one, did you guys hear that? The number one thing I hate when I borrow money, I do anything from a friend, and I go, I don't want to be a burden. Because it's the easiest way to say, if it's okay, if you can do this easily without stressing out your own body, then, oh my God, that would help me so much. But if you have to go out of your way and give me any energy that had anything to do with just what you were doing, I'm so sorry. I don't want to be a burden.
Right. She doesn't want to be in like where they do with the elderly when they no longer are useful. They put them in some room to rot away.
You know what? But you know what they're saying?
Up there.
You know what they're saying? And wow, from a person like you who literally has to deal with your fucking body all the time, they're saying your body is a burden. You would be better unaliving yourself and moving on to the next life so that you can come back and join the Sea Org in a young body.
Like, nah, I'd rather just get rid of Sea Org, the one I got.
But that's what I mean. They're not even thinking about the connection of their own body at a certain point. And that's horrible.
I think what she's afraid of is that becoming a burden in the sense that she keeps working so she doesn't lose what little privilege. She doesn't want to lose the little toaster oven kitchenette. She doesn't want to lose the fact that she has a bathroom, even though it's a step over tub. She doesn't want to lose these, benefits, because if she gets to where she's no longer working, where's she going to be warehoused at that point? Because really, they're all just warehoused.
And it's not about the benefits. Let's not forget about the manipulation. I swear, Scientology gives very little benefits. Like I said, when you are on a position where you need to look good, so you get your teeth done, you think it's because, oh my God, they care about me. They care about me. Look, they bought me a $5,000. They knew that I would know how much a $5,000 Prada wallet is. So they gave it to me because they know matter, energy, space, time, things don't matter. Bodies don't matter. But it's the thought that counts, that we know in your very important life that you, Janet, we know that you know how expensive a Prada wallet is. So if we got you this nice present that you know, then you're going to know with your money, but you won't know that because you just bought 12 intensives of sec checking and auditing. Then you feel you've been given love. You've been given, the whole thing is you're just a body, and this lifetime is not that important. So you better do the best. No, they do. They also make her buy thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of intensives auditing, calling it auditing when it's sec checking and interrogation, to find out any goddamn move she's even thinking about making without the permission from goddamn David Miscavige. I'm sure after we
protested, I'm sure she's probably getting extra of those. Because
back to that's what I was saying. The fact that she didn't show up to the CPAP meeting, you're getting to her audit. So I'm going to stay on
them, because
them. But I'm staying on your track of what you've known and how you know neighborhood council meetings and all this are run, and and that it's the people choice. It's the people's choice. It's our choice as a group to say we agree with this or not. Right. So I just love that you know about that. And for me, that's enough to be like, okay, and with your heart and how I know you are, there's certain people that I'm very like, I will support this person. They continue in their actions, not by word of mouth, in their actions to show up and do stuff. Whether there's arguments and disagreements and whatever the fuck going on, you show up and you do the thing. And that is the most important thing. And that is what I want to stick to, and not what I want to, where I am pushed and will, no matter what's going on. If you're not staying on fucking track and being awesome and positive, who gives a fuck? Oh, be positive. Some douchebag made a joke. Oh, no, you can't be positive all the time, Lara. Yeah, you can, fuckface. Even this is positive to a piece of shit like you. Okay? So yes, positive, positive, positive. The point is that you're leaning to growth and that you're leaning to healing, even if it's to free Janet Whelan. If we free Janet Whelan, then guess what will happen? She'll expose all the fucking shit going on.
Yes, and
so
she'll be she'll be unsafe pointed. That will be unplugged, and they have a choice right now. Either we keep sending her to safe point, or she's too much of a risk. Because what if she really wants to blow, and this person's there to help her, so we can't send her. So they're having decisions to make. But me, I'm like a horse with blinders on. I just stick to my race, a horse with blinders, and I keep focused. And my other focus is she's also on the Hollywood one, which they canceled the last meeting. I'm going to get on that, Captain, because I want to see if she goes to the Hollywood CPAP next. And if so, Janet, if you're out there, we're going to help rescue you at the Hollywood one if they send you.
Yeah, and me too. I want to go there if you go too as well.
Yeah, come. Sure. Yeah, and we'll see.
And on Auntie M wrote, also remember, if she has a button on her son, they know that too. She may disappear if they don't trust her to cave. That's fine, Auntie M. Whoops. The thing with that though is, if they do that, the community, me, audit, everybody will see who the next safe pointed person is, and that gives Janet some time to get the fuck out of everything, to get away from Scientology, and to really just make her own decisions and go, oh my God, never did I think I'd be joining the SP side. But guess what, Janet?
We need to like serenade her. We need
if
to
you
get
do,
Janet out of there.
Janet, and it's not about Janet, you're a piece of shit, you allowed all this to happen. It's Janet, Scientology's manipulative policies that are linked to black magic, MK Ultra, mind controlling techniques put you in a situation where you only had few options, and you did really good, sadly, at them, because you are capable of doing really good at whatever you put your mind to. But you fucked it up because now you're losing your family, your money, you're losing your mind, Janet. So let the people helping you, exposing this, let us help you. Let us not think that don't think that we're your enemies. We actually are very much not. But do we disrespect you hiding behind the person that you're being, on a city board, in a very, very important position that you could be changing the ways of Scientology? And you're not. You're covering it up.
We're ending her little career there, but we'll help her. We're going to have to that's what we're going to have to do. Rally for Janet, make it all about, free Janet and that they'll hate
free anybody. Literally. They don't like, what did they do when the whole thing went viral with Free Angel or whatever? Angel was gone.
Sebastian and all. Well,
they're all gone.
Kirsten Peterson. There you go.
So Kirsten Peterson, by the way, I can't say this enough, that her own ex-husband, Kevin Catano, I knew directly. He had to deal with me directly as a fucking child. Okay. Because I was always running from the ranch. And he was always like, oh God, it's Megan Anderson again. All right. We're either going to have to send Kevin Catano, Mr. Catano, or her parents, Diane Anderson, Phil Anderson. Send Phil first. Diane's busy editing David Miscavige's mistakes on his speech. So anyway, Kirsten Catano has the info of RTC. She is the level, and I can, without guaranteeing it, I'm going to put it on me. I'm going to say she has the level, she has the authority level of somebody in the top organization right under David Miscavige. religious technology center. So she legally knows what she's already gotten away with and what has already gotten away with legally, all the false documents that have already been set in place to let them get away with all their criminal activity today. She knows about all that, whether it was through her ex and then carried away. Remember, David Miscavige and the crew up there know exactly how this human being operates and thinks, to what she likes, what she gets excited about. Hey, you get this done, we're going to get you that trip. Whatever she wants, we're going to get you that, because she never gets any of that. But there's certain things that no longer will a Disneyland trip or a $50 bonus or a $500 bonus do when you're behind bars or in front of a judge.
And
trying
it's
to
coming,
explain.
Kirsten. It's
It's
coming.
coming. Yep.
It's coming, Kendrick. But there's,
and it's Kirsten Peterson. Kirsten Peterson. Are you out there? Kirsten Peterson. We would like Lara Anderson, also known as Lara FM, your most loud, annoying artist against Scientology. Thank you. We have AuditLA here. We both would deeply love to hear and talk to you about many, 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 many things. Kirsten, Catano, Peterson, Kirsten. What are the other, Auntie M? What are the other 10,000 names she has? Let's say them all. I can. Oh, there. Say her name, Kirsten. Literally, Tori. Literally, we're not gonna. This is a very important one. Kirsten is the little fucking the evil snow queen. You know, the Snow White. She's the queen going, okay, David Miscavige, do you like what I've done now? I've had Janet do this and that. She's very the evil queen of it all.
I believe it. And then the ones who are being raised up, like, because they have to deal with that Janet's getting too old for this. She's not well at all. They dye her hair black to make it look like, to take a little bit of, age off. But there's also, besides Susanna, there's also Olivia McDuff, which is, Jennifer, we had Jennifer Crosskopf, I don't know how to pronounce it, but also Olivia McDuff is becoming a recurrent person. So we have to get these names of the people that you're starting to see, and you see them in the CPRAs of who's interacting. But another person I need
to
say
their names. I love that.
Let's
take a little bit of pause when you say this. So Olivia McDuff.
Olivia McDuff.
Okay. And do we have, she's got blonde hair or something, right? Something like that.
Yes, and she's a minister, but she has been taking over a lot of, I think, Jennifer's. I think Jennifer's name kind of got worn out a little bit, and in all the city meetings. So to me, it seems like Olivia McDuff is taking over a little bit of Jennifer's things a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. They're building, what they're doing is they're building up, they're fattening up and thickening up their OSA presence, because David Miscavige is shitting his little diarrhea pants.
Probably. But you know who I need to know? If anyone out there, this is the one person, I think I know who he is.
Do you see the
Kirsten Vine, Jerry Catano, Peterson, Nee Thorne. Yes, Thorne, and there's another name too.
But those are all of the names that Kirsten Peterson is currently or did use.
It's DERSON. And it's Kirsten, I believe, with the I think.
I think it's a KIER. It's definitely, it's like Kirsten.
Yeah.
It's Kirsten.
It's KIER, right. And then the last name is PEDERSON. And they color her hair exactly where she can't.
Nope.
Right. And but the person, the guy who's always wearing the Hawaiian shirt at the events.
Okay, I want to pull this up. How about I pull it up? How about we do that? Because he's on your YouTube.
Yeah, and you can see
he came right up to me. He's like, "You need to leave."
Right? Yeah. Go over there.
Keep talking to chat and let me pull that up.
So I'll explain what I have so far. So I believe that I believe the name was Juan Gonzalez. Do you remember the video that went to the neighborhood councils? It was from, I believe, Juan Gonzalez, that's saying how, it had it all edited to look like everyone's a grifter. And it was mostly DOA, Jessica, and Streets. And like they would have like these little clips. I think, and then he's saying that he's also reported it to the FBI and all these things. Like they're just and it was so nutty and crazy that that video. I think that's him, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, can you hear that?
I can't.
You can't? When I just played that, you couldn't hear? Okay, good. No. That's good. So I'm listening to your thing now. Hold on.
You'll see it.
Everyone can hear
It has
me.
Ted in the Easter Bunny outfit with him salivating. So yeah, if you
Yeah.
see Ted with the cowboy hat, but he has an Easter egg basket, and then a guy in a
Okay.
Hawaiian
Oh, I
shirt.
see it. I'm here. I'm here. Hold on. They wouldn't let you in.
And it's towards the
Here, let
middle.
me share this. I wonder if it'll do it.
I can tell you at what point.
Share screen.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pizza. Like I have the thing, the permit where it says it's not closed to pedestrians, and then I have him saying it's closed.
Okay, do you see this or no?
Mm-mm.
Dang it.
But
Okay.
this dude, I want
Oh,
him
wait.
named.
Also share. Hold on. Also share tab audio.
And I
Yes.
want to get a wanted poster. Like I need to, I don't know how to do that. I have to maybe in Canva try to figure it out. I want to do like a wanted poster with his face and wanted for violating civil rights, and then call, excuse me, like the police, the police department or something.
Sorry, I don't know if it's
No,
gonna
that's it.
let
Yeah,
me
that's the
do it.
one. That's the one. He should be right in that.
So can
Right.
I play it like this or is that gonna be weird?
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm sharing my screen. That's so dumb.
Yeah, right
Okay,
there.
but can you
Just
see this or
I can
no?
see it. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna play it. Let me know if you can hear. Can you hear audio or no?
Um, no, but I don't know if it's right before then. I think there's a smaller clip
But
of
can
it.
you
So
hear the audio when I just played it or no?
no.
Okay, so it's over here then. Here, let me just turn this down and I think it's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, there he is. Right? Oh no. No, but he
Oh
comes.
wait, no, no, no. It was after. It was when you were on the other side. I remember. Hold on.
No, it's on this side.
Oh, right here. It's around here. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, it's coming.
I thought, hold on. Okay, it
I
was
think you went
before
too
you went to
far.
Starbucks. That's
There's a
what.
5-minute video. You have this is the big video. I have the 5-minute one.
If you just bring me, then I can okay. Wait, Ash. I was saying if you could just bring it if you do it like that. Yeah. Okay. But audit, I
It's
feel like
on this
it's
side. It's
right
around here. It's there. He is. There he
right
is.
there.
He just walked
Okay.
away.
Hold on, let me see. You can't hear it, huh?
No, you'll be
Dang
able to
it.
see him as long as you can see him.
You're saying as long as I can get through, walk me through there, get me home. He said,
Okay,
"Oh,
but
that's
it's
not the
wait.
only
Is that the
thing."
police officer?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
Hold on.
before this. No, it's before
Okay.
this. It's before the cop. It's
You said
before
I just
him.
right here. You said I just don't want to get shot today.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well,
It's
with
really
these
true though. These
crazy.
people get psycho. That's the real truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
it
After
was
that.
after this. It was
Yeah.
like around here. Was it before this? You're saying get out of my way, please.
There he
Oh, is this
comes.
him? There he is.
This is him.
There he is. So hold on, I want to get his face. And then he comes back actually. So hold on.
Yeah, because he was trying to gaslight bike guy too.
Okay, I'm gonna zoom back on that. Sorry. I'm gonna get that back in so that we can get that really quick. Right here.
Yeah.
Right here is gonna come up.
I want to identify him,
Yep, we're gonna do that right now. So I want to get a clean shot.
but nobody has been able to get a facial recognition from him. He's also the one that was in that guy's the one who was threatening to pepper spray those filmographers. Was it Johnny G or?
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was him there.
Yep. He's nasty.
Yeah, Johnny G. I don't know. I do remember that though. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Oh, look at that guy's filming too. Okay, he comes up here. So I'm gonna zoom in now. So if anybody wants to get this, can screenshot it here. I love you, Audit. You're like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
And the
Any of
cops
that.
got
And
me
then he
through.
comes back. Then he comes back though, a little bit later after here.
I think it was before
He
then with
comes
white
back. No,
guy.
I think he comes back. Hold on. Let's wait a little bit. Because he comes over here somewhere another time. Like right after this. Hold on. Just give it a minute. I'm going to speed this up. Yeah, this guy is always sent out, and it reminds me of when David Miscavige was in town. It was like the same people who pulled this shit. It was
Yeah,
like the
there he
same
is.
people. I'm gonna speed it up.
I just don't know who he is, and I want to know. I think it's Juan Gonzalez, but I'm not sure. And if it is, that's the guy that's sending out all that stuff to the neighborhood councils, trying to, poison the well.
You're saying Ted's a pastor. He knows what they say about Jesus, and he's still guarding. I
Yeah.
wouldn't trust
And
any
I
of these
came in
people not
nice.
to
I didn't
shoot
even say,
me.
I didn't yell or anything until they prevented me. Like, I didn't go there to
Yeah.
yell or anything until they
No, they
prevented
knew
me.
exactly what you were doing, Audit.
And so you
That's what's
prevent
so
me,
fucked.
then you're
And
gonna
Ted is
then you're gonna
so
have to
up
hear
in
it.
this now.
Oh yeah, Ted's like become a real believer.
And then
But
here you're
he's
saying we're gonna see the police uphold my rights. So obviously, but the Hawaiian shirt guy comes when the police come, and he thought he was all that in a pair of shoes, and he
yeah.
wasn't.
And then I'm sure he did not like the fact that they stood by their oath, thankfully,
Oh,
finally.
people are also sending me screen zoom up shots of his face.
Yeah, that's what I want to see who he is. I really want to know him.
Okay, so these police come, and these
Yeah,
were the
they
guys
were
that helped
cool.
you.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Okay,
Not perfect, because one guy said, "Well, we'll go through, like, just maybe don't say anything." And I'm like, don't tell me what to do. Then you're working for Scientology." So he apologized. I did give them both
right here,
commendations.
right here.
Yes, because they did honor
This
my
guy was
their
told
oath.
like, no, I know, I heard you. When you
Yeah,
went there, and you're like, look, no, I'm actually coming to tell you guys you did a good job.
yeah, you did. I'm
You're
gonna,
like, I'm
yeah,
not
because you have
yelling
to
this time.
amplify it. You got when they do good, you gotta let them know, and you
Yeah,
gotta let them know big because it will encourage them. Just like you're saying, like Janet's encouraged me. Oh, I got a nice new purse. Well, them
right,
too. Oh, I get a commendation with all the, whatever. That's gonna help me want to get another one.
right,
The same,
exactly.
same
So
thing.
this
There you
is the
go.
guy.
I want to
This
know
is
who he
his
is.
stance. We're gonna play a little more. This look at he's all nervous, pretend. Look, he just like tapped the bush.
Yeah,
He's. I'm
yeah.
so frustrated. I need to tap the
Oh,
bush.
is
Look,
that a Scientology thing? Is that like a
I don't
calming
know. He's
measure? You think?
like he's just like Well, maybe actually, probably look at him. He's looking at you with his glasses. He
He's
probably
so
has
mad.
spy glasses
Yeah, he's
because he
so mad.
clicks a thing right there. You see him,
Yeah, well, yeah, they're
and then
spying
he
on
keeps looking
everything.
at you. Right, he keeps looking at you though. Trust.
They're trying to
A
intimidate
child born
me.
and raised this knows. Look, then he walks and then he comes up and then look, touch that tree. Thank you. Just kidding.
He's probably turning on the camera. Probably
I don't
another
know, but
camera.
he's annoyed. He's pretending that he's being busy and he's trying to listen to what the police are saying. And they're basically telling you, yeah, this guy needs to shut the
He's
fuck up
so mad right
and
there.
open up the yeah.
He's
Look at
so
he's
angry.
waving. Pretend look, he's being covert. Right, he's actually being covert, but what they're saying is we're being covert, and so he's just smiling and waving, hi, pretending everything's so great. And look, we have the police here; it's so beautiful. The
Yep.
police are on our side. He's just changing what's being seen, but right now he's very annoyed that there are police here.
Oh, he's mad. Yeah. Well, he's mad that he's going to be really mad when they lose. But that's the whole point, and that's like I don't go protest a lot. I would like to do it more because it's I like to challenge these things when they do have closures. But it's
Every
really
time.
important. Yeah, it's
Yep.
important to get this footage and to get the proof and the evidence because this is so
Scientology is
much
very
evidence right
slow
here.
and slimy. So that's
Hmm.
what they're doing. You can't see it right away. You don't realize the rope on around your skin is tight until you start to not fucking feel it and something's going on in your body. But you know, like, but if somebody said, "Oh, I'm gonna put your rope around your neck," you'd be like, "What the fuck? Get out of here! You're trying to kill me." But if they're doing it slowly, how are you gonna
Yeah.
fucking know? That's
Yeah.
literally the only analogy I can like think of. It's the same analogy as the elephant that is told, "Is this the guy that helped you?" Here, let's
Yeah,
see what he
both of
said.
those officers.
Oh
Yeah, it's
yeah,
also like how do you cook a lobster?
he
You
said,
don't
"I'm
throw
gonna
it in.
let." He just told them they need to open it and
Yep.
that they need to allow you through. So that's why
And I asked them
angry
to
Hawaiian
escort
guy
me
left. Yeah.
because I
Oh,
said
that's what you're
they're
doing now. Let me
scary.
see.
Yeah, I said they're scary. I don't want to be hurt. So they made sure I didn't get harassed or anything.
Oh,
Um,
look at the security guard so mad. Look,
oh yeah, he was so
look at
pissed. But see,
he's
I
like,
want to
God,
know where
AJ.
he.
I think that guy's name's AJ, by the way. Oh no, that's not the new one.
Now they
Okay.
don't let him near me. They don't let most of the and now they're not letting Ted near me either. I don't think.
Yeah, Ted hides when I go in.
Yeah, because he's gonna get like a little somewhat BSIS too. But Because let's
Okay,
just
so
mention,
everybody,
two of those guards did not have any identifying. Ted did. Ted learned from the last time. He has patches on. The other guy had patches on. But the guy with the mask, who I believe is probably law
look at all these
enforcement.
security audit just for you.
Yeah.
The
And
police
they
and
don't have patches,
security.
though.
And look at Ted can't handle your ass. What the fuck is he useful for then?
Yeah. I mean, they should fire Ted. I would say you should really fire Ted and bring back Burke. A, he was better looking. And B, like, he at least was able to divert my attention because we'd have so much fun bantering. Like, I actually forgot to go protest because it would be, talking, whatever. He was better at it. Ted's just become too much of a Scientologist.
Look, they told them that they said they need to open the sidewalk. That's what they were just
I
doing.
know. And there's
I
some,
can hear
but
it,
but
chat.
they
You guys
talked him
can't hear it.
into telling me not to speak. And I told the officer, I said, "Don't you dare! No, you don't tell me not to speak. I have a First
Yeah,
Amendment
the
right."
fuck? That's the thing. Like, well, if you could be quiet because we're having religion. No, lies.
No,
This is
that's
not a
my
religious
religion. You know, not every
mass.
this is
This
my
and
religion. It's
it's
Easter.
ways.
This is
This is what
Easter.
they're used to. They think they can bend the rules. They can bend
Yeah,
what is actually written in the law. So let's just see this. I want to see this. I want to see you roll down. So satisfying.
yeah, it was so satisfying. And I know
I
I
can
never
hear it, and the cops like saying, "Yep, I told them that they cannot." Oh, and then you just told them, "No, you cannot tell me to not
be
talk."
quiet. Yeah, I'm not, and I make sure I didn't be quiet just because had he not said that, I probably would have been quiet. But once he
Nope,
told
and
me
you
I
got
had to be
his
quiet,
exactly, nope. And
then
that
you're not
is
going to.
so spot on, Audit. Okay, so I guess that's it, right?
I
Do we
have a
need to
little
watch
bit
it go down?
defiance.
Do you go down?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, all the
Oh,
way,
look at this. Look at this.
absolutely.
I love how you handle them. See, people need to be spot on. You need to know your rights. What you're doing is a First Amendment right. They cannot
Yes.
tell you to be quiet, hush, hush. No, shut up. I'll do whatever I want.
Yep.
I'll be loving and most respectful as much as I can be, but no, you don't say, "Can you quiet down?" Absolutely not.
I
Mind
would have
your
been
own
quiet
business.
had he not asked me that. But see, I had to
And
teach
look at
him.
this. Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you. Good job.
And I was like, no, and see, they want to hurry up and get me out of there. I'm like, no, it's
Yeah,
okay.
they're
Take
trying to
it. They
hurry
should
up
take their
now. Leave me
time.
alone. Yeah, leave me alone. Let you just do whatever you want. Maybe you want to
And
sit there and chill.
yeah, and look at the animal abuse. Look, those
And
bunnies
how
are in the
can so
sun.
are they allowed to say you're not welcome, Audit?
No, they're not allowed to
So
do
why are
that.
they
It's
saying
open
you
to the
only can be on the
public.
sidewalk?
Exactly. I could go to. Oh, I didn't have a ticket, but I wish I did because I would say no. I'm here with the ticket. Next time I may do that, and if it's because otherwise it's viewpoint
And
suppression.
here's where
You can't
people
do
can
it.
help too. If you think that Audit needs to get an event, get a ticket.
Yeah.
Get a ticket, get four. And that way there's always an actual ticket where any of us could have been invited and we have a ticket. We just know, oh, my friend got me a ticket. So
Yeah,
if
and
you
then
guys,
I'll
anytime they
go.
have
I'll
these
challenge
events,
it.
yeah,
Hmm.
this is really good. I can hear everything, which is great. Sorry,
But
chat. You
hopefully
can
they're
hear.
not going to get any more I mean, my thing is I'm pushing hard
We'll
that they don't get
see.
any
We'll
permits.
see. And I mean, someday, and this is my neighborhood, if that's a city street, I want to perform on that.
Yeah, that's a city street right there.
Exactly. So why can't we? Yeah. So that,
But if fire can't get through though because they have it all blocked on.
yeah.
That's why I'm saying I know the cops were like they were like they just like we need this over with.
I
And as
love
soon
that
as those
you
cops left, they blocked it for the next person for Griselda.
exactly. And that's what's not cool. I love that. Griselda, I saw you in the chat earlier. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Griselda was there and they did the exact same thing. So
Yep.
that's the thing. It's like we need to stand our ground, document, and just say, look, right after this happened, they just did the same thing to somebody else.
Yeah. And that was golden because all we had to do is like now her clips of them doing that, even if she didn't want to push it and call the cop, maybe she didn't want to go through that day. It's
Yeah.
okay. She still documented the fact that they did it right after the police told them they can't do it. That's how defiant they are. They were
And
just told you
they
cannot
had
do that, and then they do it.
so they had the Jive Aces or something playing on the stage. Who was on the stage?
Some I don't know,
Some band. Okay.
yeah, some lady I
I
think.
thought I saw some
And they had
sign.
like animals, and they were selling books. They were selling on Easter Sunday. Their permit says no selling, no food. Oh yeah, that's when I do the sound thing.
Is that the nose? Oh, so what was that? The decimal reader, was that loud? Way
Yeah,
too loud.
I'm going to start doing that too for the sounds
That's so
because the
smart. And
neighbors are annoying.
show it on the camera. That's so
Yes,
smart.
the numbers, and then it jumped up to
Look,
90.
they're
Oh, see,
selling
that's she's selling
everything.
books. Yeah, and
L. Ron
they did
Hubbard
not have a
books.
permit to sell.
Nope.
They
There you
said they were
go.
not going to sell. So
There you
here we
go.
got that evidence. And then the bunny, and yes, I did report them to animal services. They can look at the footage if they want. And that bunny was in the sun and with no shade on them. And but see, like bunnies, they like to go undercover. They have fur, and it was like direct sunlight, and that was so cruel.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're talking about the Jesus. You're telling that they don't even believe in Jesus or any of this. That's
They
what I
believe,
think
they
they're
said that in OT
exactly.
level 8, Hubbard said that Jesus was a lover of men and boys, and we know what he's inseminating. He also said that
Yeah,
in OT level 3 that he is that it's just a figment of like some imagery that they like aliens implanted in our memory to kind of get us off course of Scientology or whatever. So it's all very
to keep
anti.
you in a plant.
Right, and then that he's the Antichrist, are going to usher in the Antichrist. So then why are you celebrating Easter? You know what I mean? Like,
See how the police are just following you down?
yeah.
To me, that's so insane. Also, it's like, sorry, I'm listening to them.
And mind you, this is the same one that they were always sending cops that were always sticking up for Scientology. So we're getting officers in now
That's what
that
I
are not
mean.
safe pointed.
So I was gonna say, oh, I guess I can stop sharing now. I was gonna say, um, oh, stop sharing. There we go. Um, the fire department there, when Matt was there during the event, there was where all the signs on Sunset that say no parking, and they had them all tow away zone, temporary, no
Mhm.
parking because of their event.
Yeah, because they had
There,
all four sides. Yeah.
yeah. So Matt, if you're in the chat, you do remember this. There was a fire car. Somebody from the fire department was in a white fire department car that parked at those meters, got out, and walked all the way into the event. I want to know who that person was and why were they at the event? Were they invited?
Yeah.
They
Well,
were
was
in
that was the
uniform.
other event, right? That wasn't the Easter one. I think that was that the prior one? Because I
I
remember
think it was
seeing that,
no,
and
I
I
think that
remember.
was Easter. I think that was Easter because I was watching you
Okay.
and Matt, and then Matt left or something like that, and then I ended up watching your stream.
Oh, okay. Maybe different parts of the day
You were
because
in
yeah,
Starbucks
I
at
saw
that
that on
point.
a. Well, you know what they did in the North Hollywood one, and I didn't know this until afterwards. They had a big event to honor
It was before Easter. Fine.
yeah,
Sorry, I
the
didn't mean to cut
fire
you up. But
department.
that is so okay, but that is so important. That person, I know this sounds silly, guys, but this is why it's so important. People, MD Media 18, Griselda, Witshare, myself, Scott, when he's not being restrained on a false fucking restraining order, the lore of DOA, things like that. People being out there filming, you don't even need to interact. Just say, hi, are you a Scientologist? Can I ask you if you no, good. That's all you need.
Yes.
Now. You just need their reactions of how they operate. Because certain things, because you never know. I saw MD Media's chat that literally, yeah, exactly. YRB. The escort looks like you are a problem rather than you being protected from Scientology's harassment. The escort, the police officer was kind of being like, oh, yeah, we're letting her do, but she's the problem. We're just like de-escalating.
No, I get that, but it's still good
To
because
get on
yeah,
video.
on record and on video because I don't trust them, and B,
No.
I wanted because they
Oh, okay.
also were making sure they went to the other end and made sure they didn't harass me. So no, for it doesn't. I don't care about the optics or what people outside the optics. The important optics were the people who are OSA, and they knew darn well that I wasn't the problem because they were telling them you need to move. And they even sent them ahead of me to tell the other things that you need to leave her alone. She has a right to be here. So yeah, optics for the outsiders, I don't really care.
Yeah,
I
but
wanted them to
also,
get the message that the police are on my side. They're with me, and they knew all the OSA people knew who the cops were with me, and that's the message that I wanted to send by having them with me.
yeah, and that was really amazing.
And they knew we were taking a report afterwards because I made it very clear that I was making a police report afterwards. So they were walking me through to make a police complaint, and that was very clear.
Okay, but to me that doesn't it's still like not very like open up the sidewalk. I mean, can you imagine if my ass was just laying on the sidewalk, like cutting people off from walking there and like They would be like, you can't do this. Move just, and very openly. They would be like,
Yeah.
they don't care if you're fucking recording or not. They would be
Yeah.
like, nope, you can't do this. Open this up now. Why are they not doing that? Why are they going and negotiating with Ted?
Yep.
Like, what
But
the fuck?
they did finally do the right thing, and then they did
Do
take
they
my
do
police
that with
report.
people in prison? Do they go negotiate? Yeah, I guess they do. They negotiate with the head of the cell, the jail dorms or whatever, right?
Right.
But that's just like a certain point. Well, then at least call them prisoners, because they don't have any control over what they're doing. And you're allowing like a tour to come through and be like, oh, Scientology is great, when that's not true. This is a delusion.
Right.
Scientology is a literal prison camp,
But at least
mentally and physically.
But at least they did do their job. And I think they didn't want a big scene because of their kids and families. I think they were kind of in a difficult situation. And I get that. But they did afterwards. We went to Starbucks to do my complaint. And you know
Yeah,
that
I
had to
saw
kill
that.
them.
I was
That had to
listening to
kill
all that.
them.
And that's when I thought I was bouncing back to Matt. So somebody's saying that that time was different. Either way, even if it was from, even if I want to, I'm telling you, this is a puzzle, guys. We all know this in chat. Everybody that's been helping us do everything, we know this is a puzzle. We're putting it all together, and we're putting it together physically as a puzzle because we see the puzzle, but we need to put it all together so we can legally change shit. We can't just say, oh, there's this puzzle. No, we have to be like, here's the evidence. Here's the puzzle piece. Here's the piece. And catching people, like somebody from the fire department showing up in fire department uniform, by the way. And this is why I have every right to ask. You're in uniform and you're showing up to a private Scientology event. You're showing up and parking where it says nobody else can park, but you have the right to park there because you're going to Scientology event.
Yeah, because he's in a city vehicle. But that's
but where are you crossing the line? Are you going as somebody, as an attendee to the Scientology event, or are you an employee in the city and you're representing and you're doing a quick check?
I think it was the birthday bash. I think that's the day it was.
Either way, it does not matter. What I am saying is, was that person literally safe pointed and told, hey, yeah, show up for 20 minutes at this time?
Yes, that's what they do. They invite a lot of people.
And then we're going to take a few pictures of you, and we're going to lie and tell our internal members, just like they do in fucking North Korea.
But but I guarantee you, what's happened is that they invited the chief, and the chief said, heck no, but they don't want to be at war with them, so they send somebody lower. That same thing with
on their behalf.
Right. Or not even on their behalf.
Then I want to know. I want to know who that is. Who was it?
Yeah, me too. And we're going to get to the bottom of it, because hopefully next time you'll come to the fire meeting with me, because I'm trying to get to the bottom of that too. But also I want to
I'm down to go. I work. Good. I'm a personal assistant and a caregiver. So
it's on Tuesday morning before the police.
With my motherfucking energy. Exactly. Okay, so it's before the police every
Same
Tuesday?
Day. No, theirs is every other. The police is every week. The fire's every other. But the thing is that they snuck by something. I don't know how, and I didn't even realize it, but they did a thing to honor after the fires, LAFD and they gave out this huge award gala for LAFD. And I want to find out more about that. Who went? I really want info.
When? What year?
This year. It was like 2 weeks, a month ago, maybe.
Okay. So, and not only that, Celebrity Center does a gala. They're supposed to do a Celebrity Center gala every year. So all the time when they do this, they want people. I think I was protesting out there on Halloween or something. Oh, Christmas, Halloween, same thing. Scary. They were, and I saw Jim Meskimen going in there and Nancy Cartwright's family. I'm just like, they're fucking all here. They're doing it. And then you see Elizabeth Moss just recently in the photos of their own PR footage of their events. All these John Travolta, Elizabeth Moss in the front row. So John Travolta, whether he's fucking, we feel, oh, he's trapped in there or not, is still representing himself as a gung-ho Scientologist to cover whatever crimes he has committed, period.
John Revolta, at this point, I call him now.
Revolta?
Yeah, John Revolta, because he's revolting right now to me.
Oh, dang. That's a good one. But I'm sure my mother would agree with that one too. I think she used to have the biggest crush on John Travolta, and I didn't know that until there was this weird interaction with my mother. And my mother knew John Travolta in high school. They went to like the same school or something. And I have literally a photo of them in my album over there. And they both had like curly hair, like perms or whatever they used to do in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
But anyway, she always had this like thing for John Travolta. And then, and my dad, I guess, always knew that. But I always liked John Travolta, and always as like a Scientology celebrity, you think, oh, John Travolta, he's so handsome, and Tom Cruise so handsome, everybody's so handsome, Kirstie Alley's so pretty, and then you realize you get out, you're like, what a load of shit.
Yeah,
like fake ass hoes.
But this gala was for the firefighters from the fire.
But that's what I'm saying. I love how we both get excited. But
yeah, but
no.
I want to know more. If anyone has information on who was there, if they can find any,
and it's as simple as that. It's who specifically, even if AuditLA here doesn't even know that there's more than one meeting or more than that happening, where city officials are coming in to Celebrity Center and meeting up at a quote, environmental meet, and you see police or invites for police officer or fire or anybody to go in, we need to be alerted. Fat Grammy needs to be alerted.
We needed cameras on. We didn't know about it. Somehow
that's it. We just need camera. We need footage. We just need to see this happening. Like, period.
There.
Look, dude, you're walking into the Celebrity Center. Don't say that's not you, because the world knows.
Right. And this was the North Hollywood one, and it was just for LAFT. So I want to know, and I'm going to do a CPRA, who was there, who was invited, on all these things. Oh, yeah. So there's a fire department receipt showing safety officer Arredondo attended concert. Okay, yeah, it was, I think, the March 22nd. Okay, I need this stuff. This is the stuff I need, because then I
pulled that up because I knew you. I need this stuff. This is what I love.
I need to go to the meetings. I have to have my receipts.
Yeah, dates, times, exactly, receipts. That's why.
So if anyone can send it, audit.in.la@gmail.com. And I love it because after we do these kind of things, I always end up getting some emails and something pertinent. So I appreciate everyone that does that.
And again, it's a puzzle piece, and it can be so tiny, but then it connected this big other thing. You're like, yes. Janet had a conversation with so-and-so, and that's how they got that fucking huge city thing approved. It could be a simple conversation. These days, it's like politicians are so fucking weak, or they're like not sure where to go because everybody's lying and they're all full of shit. And it's like, when you can find somebody who has a heart and they have an intention and they have an open, obvious reason of why they're doing something, they kind of want to lean towards that. So sadly, Scientology can also come in, Janet, wheel in and kind of put on this face of, we're the change.
Yeah, see, they can. And then we find out who this guy is, because he needs to go. We need him I want him in the RPF. That's like, he deserves to be in the RPF, in my opinion. If I was like the queen of Scientology, I'd banish all these people to the RPF.
Well, I would put fucking David Miscavige on the RPF for the rest of his life.
He'd be the first.
I wouldn't even put him in jail. I wouldn't. That's actually not good enough.
Right. RPF.
Put him on a Scientology gruesome Sea Org RPF, as he did to thousands of people, and ruined, and literally, if you're still a Scientologist, created so many fucking engrams. How about that? David Miscavige has created more engrams than he has cleared people.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And so, yep. But I need to know. I was obsessed with Janet, but I found a lot about Janet. Now I just want to get her out.
I'm telling you, even more the merrier. Even if she thinks she knows all about Janet, send her more. Period.
Send me more. Yeah.
What type of shampoo does Janet like? We want to, just as Scientology likes to safe point her, we'd like to unsafe point her very lovingly.
Yes.
So that's Audit's way of doing
it. That's what we have to do. That's another thing, is like, I'm learning a lot of their tactics, and then you just use it against them. Yeah. You use what they do against us and you turn it around. What's this? He's going to the RPF. Yes, he's going to go there.
No, he's going to the RPF's RPF. Yes. Do you know that that's actually a thing? RPF's RPF.
Oh, the RPF's RPF. No, I didn't know that.
That's the black band. That's like the black, or maybe there's even a band below that. But black band, to me, I thought was the worst of the worst. You're on the RPF's RPF. So you're in the RPF, but you're at the shit. But like if you just join the RPF, you might just be put on the RPF, but then if you fuck up again while you're on the RPF, you're on the RPF's RPF, which means you are literally treated like a dog piece of shit. Not even dog shit's most of the time left alone. Clearly here in LA, nobody picks up their fucking dog shit. Right. I'm such a freak about that. But anyways, yeah, like seriously, it's like the RPF is literally like, I don't know how to describe it. We try to minimize and be like, oh, well, you know, he was on the RPF. Well, he was on the RPF's RPF. How are we belittling how disgusting and torturous the RPF is? Imagine that, right?
That they built the
but then
furniture there.
They do everything. No, they literally are told, this is the project. Get it done. Get it done.
And it's like on the second floor at Blue Building. I remember one time when
But
we did
that
that
I'm talking about the
barbecue.
RPF at the int base. When I was in the fucking cadet org as a child, watching executives come from Gold Base or parents, literally, one of my good friends from the int ranch would literally randomly see their father or their mother on the RPF because they're digging trenches when they used to just like type or be at an admin job or fixing e-meters. Now all of a sudden they're wearing uniform and they're running and they're sweating and they're not allowed to wear makeup, and it's so heartbreaking as a child to see that, even for the other kids' parents.
That's horrible. I mean, it's just, I mean, every time I learn more and more and more, and the more I learn, the more I'm like resolved to like, no, we got to take care. We have to fight this fight. Because it was you and Serge actually, like, interviewing you guys at the very beginning that sparked the passion.
And Serge was so fucking like full of like so much rage, as we know. But like, I just remember, I was like, oh, I remember already talking to you, and then I was like, oh, Serge is talking to Audit. Like, I just remember being like, oh, I hope he's being nice.
Oh no,
I don't know,
so
like,
nice. He was just so full of passion.
And then I was like, of course, and I had seen you guys keep talking, and I was like, oh, it's because he can detect that this person is not here to fucking attack, use, Cert, or any of us. I just was like, oh, and there we go again. Like, you wanted to learn, and you were like a therapy for us. You were one of the people that like asked good, direct questions that were like so intense, and it allowed us to relieve our own like crap that we've had as kids and all the forced shit. We're like, yeah, we were for like, and then we're like, no, you can't leave a session. You had to get permission. You're like, wait, you can't just like walk out. No.
Right.
Literally, the auditor is placed at the door, so you can't leave.
Yeah.
So they're just going, oh, we're just auditing you. Not when it comes to kids. Not when it comes to a child knowing they're not allowed to leave. Not only because this big adult is fucking stopping them from leaving, but the door is locked and you're on camera, and your spiritual freedom relies on you leaving.
Yeah. And then they get stuff that they can blackmail you with the rest of your life as children. It's disgusting. Yeah. And then and also like when I saw how much of a influence they had over the city, like all of it just sparked to where now it's just become like a life mission. And like I can't imagine anything else until the job is done with all of us now, with all the people calling in. And like, it's just, I love how it's just a like a momentum. It's just build and build and build. And they're not going to know what to do with it because it's coming from, and it's also building even like right now on TikTok, there's different really big, and YouTube, I guess, there's other big channels that have nothing to do with this protest that are kind of curious and like, and they're like coming and there's like 3, besides the one that did the video, there's another one. I can't think of it, Bryce or something like that. And Sister
There's
Sarah.
A bunch. There's so many.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing one possibly with this guy who was like a pastor, who was like a leader of some evangelical. How do you say it?
I don't know. Evangelical. Yeah.
Evangelical cult. And I'm like, wow. I'm more like, okay, I'm in it because I want to hear people's perspectives. I want to know how trapped, how controlled I really was. I don't want any more of it hidden from me. I want to know the darn hard truth. I want to know.
I'd like to see that. That's interesting.
I need to see that deep sickness, I know that sounds weird, but I need to see it to know that it was valid how I felt. I was fighting for myself, even as a child, as an adult. Like, I still wasn't okay. Yeah. So but
even with that part, Janet is like
with her children.
No, she's on a religious council. Like she was on a religious council for like LASD, like some kind of. I wrote about it, but it's like
how long ago?
I think as far as just a few years ago.
Because that's important. That's important. Yeah. Scientology safe points themselves in situations where they are reminding society, excuse me, Scientology is also a religious, Scientology also should be
Exactly.
here keeping
And
note.
Baca was really like really safe pointed and rode on their floats and stuff. So it's good that he's gone. And look where he went to prison. But we had to make sure that because we always think of LAPD, we forget that they also infiltrate LASD and they handle the jails and the prison. So that's how they get crimin on in and all that stuff. So I'm going to be more alert to the sheriffs as well and try to make sure, we keep because we don't think about it because that's more county, but it's important.
No, it's super important. And no, the sheriffs, like in Riverside County, the sheriffs run Riverside. So sheriffs are super important. And
Mm.
Scientology at Gold Base has sheriffs, whoever it is, again, safe pointed. They got people in that office. They have the sheriff's office safe pointed in a way where they're leaning towards Scientology
Right. Like all the
in all.
jails are run by this sheriff. So that's how they can get crimin on it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so we have to just keep on everything. And right, he did have, I saw the stolen valor and
Oh, this one right here.
he was raised right here. They were very for years. All her, it's all in this area by Blue for the most part. I think she comes from I forget where she came from originally, but then she joined back in I believe the 60s. Like she was like on the original boat, I believe, Janet. She's in it for the long haul. So she doesn't know anything else really except for probably in her early 20s, like the life before her 20s.
And I don't
And
know how to explain this, but Janet is just like my mother. That's like when you came in with the softness a little bit, Audit, on like, I'm going to come in with, I was like, I can't believe Audit's even fucking suggesting this to me. Like, it was almost like, fuck Angel, free Angel, fuck Angel. Angel's fucking being a little bitch loser. Like, I was just like, what about the kids who fucking don't want to be in there, And then again, it's like, well, Angel deep down doesn't want to fucking be in there. Like, if he knew what was going on, if he knew he was being fucking hypnotized, you know?
yep.
So so I kind of like, oh, okay, I understand. And then I realized through all this freaking therapy and shit on YouTube, that's what I call it. I call it my LFM TV therapy. I realized that there's so many people that I could be so angry at, but at the same time, I need them to be healing what the fuck happened. So I'm like, am I going to stay angry or am I going to be angry to heal? Am
Right.
I going
That's
to be angry
exactly.
with them?
Yeah,
Um,
it's wasted emotion to be angry at Jenna. It's kind of like not to
She's
bring
like,
her
it's almost like being mad at somebody's on heroin and your sister's giving it
right,
to them. Why aren't you mad
right.
at your sister?
Well,
You
or
know?
someone's taking heroin and they steal. It's like, okay, it's a disease, and it doesn't justify what she did. If she belongs in prison, she belongs in prison. But what benefits? What would hurt Scientology more? Janet just like going along with the flow and us hating her, or us saying, no, Janet, we're going to help you get out, and she gets out. Imagine the anxiety they would have if she ever left. So really, it hurts them more to be
I
kind
agree.
and get her
Right.
out.
I agree. And I feel like I'm all about that. I'm all about the, heal it with love, even if it's hate and anger that they're giving to you. I'm
Yeah.
always like, I've never actually found love to go wrong. That's the true thing. When you're really doing it with love, like if you're like, you know what, let's see if I can just do a little favor and help out and heal this with love, right? I've
Yeah.
never seen it go wrong. I've seen my heart get broken, but I've never felt bad about trying
Right, absolutely. And sometimes
ever.
it's good to be loving and just not let them get because a lot of time when we have hate and anger, first of all, I don't like those emotions. They're very hard to cope with and it's hard to focus and do what you need to do
You
if you're feeling
cannot
hurt and
cope.
anger.
I can't even like look at. I tried so hard. Well, I didn't try that hard. I just didn't think during the police commission. I was just trying fucking hard to speak. I was like, why can't my words come out without shaking?
Yeah. So if you had all this
And
hatred,
then I
it's
felt
just
rushed and I felt not good enough. And I felt like, well, yeah, why did you come up on this podium? Like, I'm like, oh, somebody else should have come up here and said this for me, like better than I could,
no.
all the things, the no education. And then it's like, these fuckers put me in this situation. I probably would have been an amazing, very smart, I learned that there's a difference between intelligent and being smart.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're very intelligent, and well, there's
And
book
smart
smart
is
and there's
like,
life smart. There's life smart and there's
there's
book
also
smart.
that. There's street
Right.
smart and all
And
kinds of
street
things.
smart. But the thing is, you are teaching us, like, I wouldn't know anything about this stuff really if it wasn't for all you guys who lived through it and who can teach us. Like, we're learning from you, and then we're joining in this battle with you. So it's like the never ends are, okay, we're taking up the mantle with you, but it took all you guys to teach us.
Kind of, but it took your reaction and your acknowledgement, or you accidentally going, "Oh, that's horrible." And then we're going, "Oh, oh, oh, that happened to me. That was horrible."
Yeah,
But
that's
because it
horrible.
happened to me, we're so used to saying it was our fault. So we never look at it as at your acknowledgement. Have you seen it? Like you're going, "Oh my God, that's horrible." I'm like, "Oh my God, I never thought of it that way about for
Wow.
myself."
Yeah,
And
no, you
so
didn't bring that in. That's just, you're
hearing
dumb.
people's reactions to just their heart acknowledging in the moment when they hear something, it's like, oh my God, this person really heard me. And their reaction was that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dang, I never. And then even the guilt of feeling bad for yourself. We were trained to not give ourselves sympathy. Sympathy was pathetic. To give sympathy or receive it was pathetic. So if my mother or father was feeling bad for me, if I hurt myself, oh, honey, are you okay? I would literally tell my mom sometimes, like, Mom, stop being sympathetic.
Wow, and that's
I'm
sad.
like,
I mean,
I
see, I
don't
didn't want
need
to
it.
react like that. That's so sad.
I know it's
But
horrible.
and you
It's
didn't have a normal childhood. But see, that's what I want all them, all them to know, and I want them to stop it. And I want them to stop the influence that they have, and that they're not going to be able to continue. I mean, Scientology, if it continues for however long, I don't know how long. I don't think it's going to be too much longer. Wait, any Scientology?
any
Oh, okay,
Scientologist who
gotcha.
was on the boat, like Free Winds or the Apollo or any of that, should be checked for
Well,
asbestos.
anyone in the blue
Asbestos.
building too.
That's what I was about to say. Anybody in the blue building, anybody in any Scientology buildings, there's literally a kid. I call him a kid. I feel like I'm almost 40, guys. There's a like 20-year-old something who said his dog was killed by living in one of the Scientology buildings. They didn't realize they were renting out from a Scientologist, and they just had violated so many fucking apartment laws, like the asbestos. He was like, there's mold all in the, and they were like trying to quick. And then they told him, oh, we need that they needed to leave, that they were going to evict him. And he's like, why are
That's
you evicting
sad.
me when I'm pointing out your mold? And it got really bad to a point where he literally said like his dog died or something.
That's sad. I mean, there's
And
things
he
that the
feels like he
protection.
can't take them because they're going to go after him.
Well,
They
I think
started
I mean, if
attacking.
everyone's imagine if everybody who's ever had any effect, even like me with the Sunday, whatever, everyone would sue, whether at whatever level you can get in on, whatever. How many lawyers do they have to handle 1,000 lawsuits? You know what I mean? Every protester, and have several cases, criminal, whatever. They
Literally,
can't
Scott's
fight
doing
it.
it. You know what's so funny? People are like, "Oh, Scott, I'm going to jail," and all this shit. And it's like, dude, props to fucking Scott Hotstetter. The amount of fucking shit he is putting and going through and doing. This is the actual work that even such a small lawsuit or such a small court case brings and exposes Scientology in so many ways. Like the fact that they will push so hard on this and that they are doing this in the limelight, obvious. Like anybody can expose this. And the fact that they're doing it and he is pushing down on every single one of these charges by
Yeah.
breaking it down, knowing in his heart, I did nothing wrong. I could have protesting can be a little aggressive sometimes.
Well,
Protesting can be fucking loud and annoying sometimes. Protesting can be at 12 at night or 6 a.m. in the morning when it's uncomfortable. That's when you don't control protesting. You don't control crime, do you?
right,
So
but
it's like,
there's also an important thing to mention with the hate crime thing. A hate crime has to be that the crime that whatever was committed because they're a Scientologist. No, it's not because it damaged Scientology property. If he was
mm-mm.
protesting against ADA plan or whatever planners being there that they're committing a crime, it wasn't to attack like and because I hate Scientology so much, I'm out. So the hate crime aspect doesn't even count. That should be the easiest thing to get rid of. It does not. If you look up any hate the hate statutes, it damaging a religious property is not included. And so but it's going to show all of it. It just shows the connection that the DA is trying to up everything and wobble everything. That the DA is now safe pointed to some extent, that he's even willing to. I was shocked that they would even be willing to entertain any of this stuff. I don't know what they were offered. They probably put a lot of
No,
money
it's
maybe
not
to
even
his
that. It's
campaign or
like
something.
if the Scientology feeds on outside political issues, so they'll be like, same with Grant Cardone and these people, sending Trump money to make loud and clear that they
Hmm.
support Trump. And then all of a sudden Trump's like, well, why you're a Scientologist? Oh, okay. And it kind of lessens Trump's, years ago, Trump said that Scientology status needs to be looked into. He
Yes,
did
yeah,
say
he
something
did.
like that.
He
So
did.
now you have people like Grant Cardone and Pam Bondi just safe pointing him, like pretending Scientology isn't as bad as it is. Because you have people like Grant Cardone being like, well, I mean, Scientology is great. Kids can do it. Like they do child communication courses and it's fucking amazing. It's helped me with my family while he's like steroid up and like so fucking insecure.
Yeah,
It's literally
but
like
they
you
got
are
to
being
him so
safe
quick.
pointed. Huh?
But they got the Hawkman so quickly, which is it makes me think that
How do
they
you think they do
contributed.
it? How do
They
you think that?
contributed to
No,
his campaign.
they did. They contribute to the campaign. They have outside influences contribute to the campaign. And then they threaten them. Oh, by the way, you have all this pull here. But also, we know this thing you did here. These illegal, you raped, you molested, you did this. We have these things.
Yeah, but who's giving them
You
that
watch this
info?
porn. Scientology knows where the fuck to get it from.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying, that somebody's feeding into it because it happened too
Hackers,
quickly.
people,
He
money.
just
It
got
could be somebody. It doesn't even have
right,
to be somebody that is against Scientology or for Scientology. It
right,
could be
money.
somebody that says, hey, can you find out so and so's blah 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 worst things? I'll pay you $5,000 if you get it to me in
Exact.
five
That's what
hours.
I'm getting at. It happened too quickly. There's people involved. There's
Yeah.
coercion. There's collusion. There's something.
Yeah.
Because no way should a guy, he just come in and all of a sudden he's willing to wobble up these charges for Scientology. There's a reason for it. And that's another avenue I mean, how you going to find out? I don't know. But that's another avenue because something got to him quick.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, their job, the job of OSA is to get to them quick. So they change their mind and their decisions.
Well, Janet was at his swearing in. So was what's her name? Francois. They were both at his swearing in. I caught them there, you
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
and I confronted her there and she was very scared. No,
Um,
right. No, protests are not face up right. They're not, neither is even vandalizing their stuff.
yeah.
Because that's not, just because their stuff gets vandalized, that's not a hate crime because it's a
So
religious
I have a question
institution.
about that. Like audit, what do you think? Let's put me in the position of Scott and I did the things that Scott did, right?
Hmm.
What if I was like, yeah, I did this and this. They're not supposed to have the planners. My father's in there. It's not a religious hate crime. I want my fucking father out.
Right. No, that's not right. That's not a hate crime. That is, you're protesting
It's
their illegal activity. You're protesting your dad not being there. You're not saying, I am doing this because this is Scientology and I want to destroy Scientology. They don't deserve to exist. They don't whatever and I'm going to destroy Scientology. No, when you just because it happened to a Scientologist or a Scientology building whatever, but under protest does not mean that's a hate crime. A hate crime is like, say a temple or whatever, and they go bomb it because they're whatever side, whatever religion it is, and they go bomb it. That's a hate crime. Back in the
yeah.
day when they would burn crosses, and that's hate crime because you're hating. It
And
is to
we don't
destroy
do that.
them.
Literally never has anybody that I know ever, even if I don't get along with them today, okay? Because I don't actually not like anybody. If I don't get along with somebody today, I have never seen a protester actually do something that's like a fucking physical hate crime.
No,
Literally
never.
ever. They know the laws. They know how far they can push it. And if you're protesting Scientology, there's almost a limit. There's not a limit where you can be like, if I'm clearly protesting over and over and over again, you're going to know there's a reason I'm writing chalk on the
Right.
sidewalk so that people can walk out and see it.
But that takes
At
away
what
the
point?
element of hate because it's protest. It's part of
Right.
your
And
First
also,
Amendment speech. So I
And
mean,
but it's
vandalizing
still
isn't
physical
okay,
though.
but it doesn't.
When has anything been physical though?
Right?
When
No,
have
I
we set up
agree.
a protest? When have we set up a protest to be like, the next Scientologist that walks by is getting socked in the face?
Exactly. You
No, we're
know,
literally
no.
like hoping they'll come out to talk to us. So it's so fucking quite the opposite. It's quite unbelievable. And there's policies. Who was Nora was, oh no, Nora, what's up? What's up, Nora? Was just talking about like the internal documents, and Claire Headley a few episodes back too was talking about how they have policies that L. Ron Hubbard and outside lawyers and stuff put together on how to manipulate the judge from the beginning of a court case to the very end.
I believe it. Well, they were trying to do that to Bike Guy, and I'm glad I stopped it quickly because they were trying to convince him that he ran into the guards, you know. And I had to talk to him later. I'm like, did you run into him? He's like, no. He goes, I know I didn't. He goes, he says, and he's not gonna lie. Like he's very very honest. He's like, no, I know I don't feel like I touched them at all. I was just trying to go through. And I thought I had the right to go through. And I'm like, well, you did have the right
And
to go
Bike
through.
Guy's so sweet and honest. He literally has argued with you in front of me and being like, well, if Lara doesn't want to do that, then just don't let it. And I'm like, no, I do. I just don't know what. And he's like, well, don't push her. He's like,
I know.
he's so sweet and sweet. And sometimes he says things that are like slip of the tongue, but he
he's
does not
inappropriate. Well,
do it.
he's on the
He's
spectrum. He
fucking
doesn't mean it.
inappropriate.
It's not from a bad heart.
And it's not even that he doesn't mean it. He means whatever he meant in a very
Yeah.
sweet way. He's very
Right.
protective. And so I'm always like, oh, Bike Guy's here. Cool.
But what they were trying to convince him and that guy in the sure, that's why
Is that
I'm after
he
him.
might have touched.
Well, they're lying to, and he said, well, so White Guy believed it when he said, like that guy came with it, don't ever touch him again. So then he started doubting his own reality of what happened. And I'm like, well, I said, are you saying that you touched him because you feel you did now, or because they said? He goes, well, because they said I did, so I must have. I'm like,
Right.
no, if you said you didn't, you would feel that resistance.
And I
They're
love that you're
gaslighting
even
you.
teaching him. Yeah, you're teaching him audit. And I think that's why he like sticks with you so much too, is that you're like, well, I'm obviously teaching you things because, you know, you guys get even stronger together as you're going. You kind of
Yeah.
like, hey, you can deal. There's days when you're out in City Hall and doing all that for like hours and hours, like 8 hours go by and you
Yeah.
guys are still there. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
And sometimes
and you can
can't.
hear yourself start to get a little like, no, Bike Guy, I'm hungry. Come on. Like, and I'm like, oh my God, I would be losing it right now.
I know, because you think it'd be me. No, he's what I have to
That's
have
what I'm
food.
saying. People think they're like, no, Lara's just hungry. She's hangry. They know now in my cat, they're like, no, Lara never means to be rude or angry. If she's hungry or she needs her little poof of weed because there's a lot of fucking anxiety, PTSD, cult PTSD coming around. Yeah, it makes sense. And then I'm like, oh, Audit needs she needs her tea. She needs like a nice, yummy food. That's why I was so excited to bring you to sushi. That was
that was so amazing. Thank you so much. But no, normally, I mean, I just want to get to bit. Like, I want to finish what I'm doing. But he's like, no, it's noon. That means we have to eat at noon. I'm like, we don't have to really eat at noon. You know, you can have
just like within an hour. In fact, since I'm doing this, just
done.
Run to the canteen and get me a sandwich or something. Just to tie me over.
Not for
it's
me,
so
for
cute.
him, because I have to bring him snacks.
Both.
He's annoyed. Like, I'm like, I can just wait. Like, I'll wait till we're all done. We'll go grab something to eat. But he's like, no, I have to have lunch because the fire. You know, back when he was like what the fire. He liked the firefighters. Well, they eat at noon. They eat at 5 p.m. So I had to do this. I'm like, no, you don't. Not anymore. You don't have to do that. So
some people like routine.
Yeah, that's him. Like, it has to be routine. Exactly.
Especially if I feel like if he's comfortable with you, I feel like, and he knows your needs and stuff, right? And so, and he also knows that you point out his needs. You're like, Bike Guy, you need to go eat something. And he's like, okay. And you can tell because he agrees with you so easily all of a sudden.
Well, so I can work because he would be bugging me. I'm like,
and you both want to help each other. Totally. And you're like, Bike Guy, just go eat. It's fine. Get us some food and come back.
So
you're like, you're like, you need to go eat, but I can handle this. You're like, in fact, get me some food.
Now we'll get you a snack.
Yeah.
That way I can finish what I'm doing because I have one more meeting and then we'll go eat a proper
You're like,
meal.
I have my agendas, Bike Guy. And he's like, I know. I just hungry right
now. It's so funny.
It's so sweet. So if you guys are ever in AuditLA's chat, please send her all the fun super chats. But also, like I say, guys, go to her Linktree or go to where you can directly pay her and give her a donation through Venmo, PayPal, all that. Fucking, I'm doing my life as an artist in LA, in Los Angeles, and I have so many bills and so much things I spend my money on. And I can't say it more, that literally the chat and the people that know my life and have been watching me and see us go through this up and downs, they know how much I spend money on all of us. I forget about myself sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, it's the end of the fucking month. What the fuck am I thinking? Why didn't I already have my rent ready to go? And, you know, so like, please send AuditLA, direct Venmo, PayPal, whatever you need. AuditLA has a rental chair going right now that she has to keep paying.
Thank you guys. That's you
period.
guys.
And that's amazing.
Yeah,
period.
I'm gonna have to do another month, which you covered. So
great. You need to have 6 months. The stress of having to think about 2 months. No, that's not okay. We need to send her 6 months amount of rent for the fucking chair, if that's what she needs. And if she gets her insurance to cover everything in her chair back in a month, great. Guess what? That's what people who work hard on something do. If they do something right and they push, they reap the benefits of things that would have been harder. So like, please support AuditLA. Give her the money, give her the love and everything, because it's not just like, oh, she probably gets disability. It's shut the fuck up. LA is so expensive. It's exhausting. It's hot. It's dirty. There's so much shit going on. There's appointments, court cases. There's not just like, oh, well, you could go and get a lunch. Yeah, we can when it's the right moment. And sometimes you don't have the funds to do that. Let people have an abundance amount of things, especially if they're on some amazing track that's taking down things like the cult of Scientology. I'm so sick of fucking money when there's so much dirty money just being thrown around in politics and all over the place. Fuck off about a few $100. Shut the fuck up. Give us what we want because we deserve it. And also definitely support AuditLA.
I'm just happy to be a part of all of it. I'm grateful for everything.
But we are grateful for it too. Yeah. And you have a good heart and you really keep the mission going. There's so much that is going to happen. There's so many emotions and so much hurtness and you offended me and all this that goes on. And you understand how everything can feel. You do get it, Audit. You're going like, all right, this sucks. I'm sorry. That sucks. Like, you understand how so-and-so could have been offended by this and da-da-da-da-da. But you continue moving and you're like, so this and this. And I love
all of you. I love all.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
But is that you continue. I gotta be like the horse with the blinders on. I have to, otherwise I won't function.
It's not even that. You also understand upset. You're like, all right, well, until you deal with that, let's focus on this. You still get it. It's not that you're shutting down people who are upset or didn't. You're just. It's a good example, and I really love that. And I'm not saying this in any offensive way. You're doing this from a fucking wheelchair. So if we can fucking help you, please, with like renting the not so comfortable wheelchair that she has, like just send her some money. It's so easy and it's not even that much. That's what's so stupid. It's like not even that much when you look at the perspective of everything. So
I want to get mine fixed. I found it's going to be but I'm waiting for.
If I could pay for it, I literally, if I had the money, I would do it. And that's all there is to it. And people know that. And I do it too much and I need to be careful because I don't want to.
I mean, but I also believe that, God will provide, and you guys provided this rental and I am so grateful. Like I can't go, it doesn't maneuver the streets and stuff because it was really not designed for that. So that's why like I won't be able to go out like as like I'm going tomorrow. I would have gone today if they had more meetings, but it's like I had.
I was ready to go. I was ready to go. I was so excited to physically see you today. I was ready to go.
I know, me too. Oh, I would have had it, but see, I didn't want to go when it's only one, and that's very sweet. Thank you. When it's only one meeting, like, and it's city council meeting, there's a really good chance that they're not going to call me because they had so many people. So I could have gone 3 hours, like an hour and a half each way, and then go down for 3 minutes that I don't get called to do. So it's
and that's why I appreciate it. Meetings. It's long, exhausting days, and really Scientology hopes that nobody will do it. So please, everybody, AuditLA is literally doing it. And whether that's, you can say, oh, she's in a wheelchair. She's choosing her time. That's first thing to you. I'm so honored that you're choosing your time to put your
become my life passion. It's like it's become my mission.
I love that. I
It's
love
like
that.
you got you and Serge, you know, and I felt like God, like really, I felt like God gave me my like, and you know what's weird? I don't really talk too much about it, but before well, I met you guys, I think it was October, November, but that August I had company, and he said, and we went past the Scientology building in North Hollywood. And he goes, you know what? You're going to be protesting them. I said, I would never in a million years. Don't even say that. Are you kidding me? Like, stop. And he's like, no. He goes, I really sense, and I like I want to bring him on sometime because he did, and he kept insisting that I was going to do this. I said, and then like 3 months later, or 4 months later, there I'm like, and he still
So
laughs at me. He goes, remember when
isn't
I told
that
you?
isn't that amazing? Isn't I just
Mhm.
think that's amazing that even somebody just saying something random, almost either they know you very well or whatever, or they sense this is gonna get her hooked. And
Yeah,
it's because you have a heart of something that you've been working in neighborhood councils. You've been a part of things where you're like, no, let's do something right. Let's do something good by the people. Let's do this. And
yeah.
so I don't know, whatever it is.
He knew. I don't know how he knew. He's like, because I think because I just saw it. Because I saw a vision of you doing it, and
Yeah.
I thought for sure no, but here we go.
And the first thing I said to AuditLA was, I'm like, I held your hand, and I was like, I'm so honored that you chose Scientology, the anti-Scientology movement to like really get behind.
That's
And I
because of
just,
you and Serge. That's who motivated me from the beginning. At first, I went down there and I was curious because it's like, okay, I was like, this from a constitutional standpoint. Okay, you have freedom of religion, you have freedom of protest, you have freedom of press and assembly. So I was just curious. But then when I met you first, and then I met Serge, and then Jeffrey Augustine was down there too. And between the three of you, you
there
guys
were
taught
so
me
many
so
people, right?
much.
And it wasn't just
And that was
one
it.
night. It was a few nights where we kept,
Yes.
and even Jeffrey Augustine would pop up. It would just be
Yes.
random. It was just random. Even Serge Del Mar wasn't coming out. Mike, they didn't come out for fucking ever until we did Celebrity Center protest,
And
right? Then we came out to that.
well, they came down there and then they came to,
I'm just saying it wasn't that they brought people, then they came, then
yeah,
people saw them there. So it brought more. That's what I'm
right.
saying
It kept
about the whole.
growing. Yeah.
It's
It kept
about
growing.
even seeing somebody that has been through even a little bit of what you've been through, doing it. It allows the next person to do it their way. They get to release it their way. And if it's not how I'm doing it, or Serge or my whoever, if it's not how Scott's does it, if it's then do it your way, because everybody in the community is going to appreciate that to some very strong degree.
Yeah. Everyone has their own thing. Like for me, it's the meetings. Cause like, I don't know. And I
Yes,
know
you're
Scott was saying,
so
oh,
good
these
with that.
meetings are boring. It's like, for me, it's like, oh, it's the opposite. I
I
love
know,
them, you
not
know,
for
cause
me either. Even at the commission meeting when I was there listening to other people's things, I was like, this is fucking interesting. These people, I was looking at the board, be like, y'all have to deal with this. Like,
yes. And
this is
yeah,
why are you the security chief or security chief? Why are you the
the
chief of
chief of
police? Why are you
police.
the vice president? Why are you this if you are not going to fucking hear us?
These are the power people. These are the people
Somebody
that
else will do
makes
it
the
then.
decisions. Right.
Right.
And I've been doing meetings for, you know, I've been involved with this stuff, not with Scientology, but just different advocacy for like maybe almost I want to say 10, probably 11 years now. I think maybe 12 years. I don't know. So it's just, it's natural to me, but I get it. So that's why when I started protesting, I wasn't real comfortable with doing the protest as much. I'm like, let me do what I know best and what I feel good about, because it's what I've known. It's what, and just the meetings. And then Mona got involved with me because I dragged her into it. And then so it was her and me. And then all of a sudden now other people are like, well, you know, like they're calling in. And now we have like a really solid group of regulars, you know, who are calling in and fighting this at the meetings. And I just absolutely love that,
I
because
do
usually a
too.
lot of
And
these meetings don't have people.
yeah, and also there's a whole thing about like sometimes I work, sometimes I don't have, I'm a wild rock star myself, period. Like I have my own fucking life, y'all. Just kidding.
Oh,
They know.
thank you
They
always
know.
remaining.
I'm talking to the trolls right now.
The
So
trolls.
it's almost like I don't have every time. So when I do go, I was like so excited to go to the police commission meeting, and then I realized like, oh damn, I'm probably gonna get shut down here. Like I don't know. I just felt all the PTSD and all of that. But it's so amazing that like there's so many times that I've gone to so many weird therapy counseling sessions and things that I was like, oh, this is so fucking Scientology. This is so auditing. Some AA meeting like things I went to. I was like, this is like fucking group at Scientology one-on-one, like aberration. Anyways, I was just like so hatred, so resentful of any kind of healing groups because I just felt like somebody was lying to the group. Like, even if it was the group leader or somebody in the group was like, yeah, I don't know. I just felt like everybody was just lying. They're using this group to get away with their crimes. And then to find a group like us and doing this, it's actually, you can see people in their own fingerprint doing the thing that is actually the thing that will save us all together to expose this shit. This is the shit. It's so amazing to allow people to change. First of all, allow people to change.
I agree.
When are you going to stop not allowing people to change? Because you're the fucking problem.
Like
you're the fucking problem if you're not allowing people to change. You become the fucking problem when you're not allowing people to change. You have to take your righteousness and just, how can I allow this person to be right in what they do know? And how can I encourage them in what they are doing right by?
Right. And
so they don't think I'm only here to attack them, because that's not going to happen. Nobody's going to listen to somebody who thinks they're just there to attack them. And
well,
that's where I kind of agree about the Janet Whelan, like, let's get Janet out.
Right. But even at the meetings, like I tell Go Puppet that I'm like, if you're only attack, I'm like, you can't. You got to give some credit here. And he's starting to incorporate that a little bit. And I think he's like, yeah, you know what, this is better, because it's not like everyone's all bad, all evil, all good. It's like, you know, and it's just like, for me, it's easier to believe. I'd rather believe the best. It's easier to believe the best than to, you know, the worst. Like it feels bad to be hate or always or this and think bad. And so for me, it just feels better to give the benefit of the doubt. And if you prove me wrong, you prove me wrong. Shame on me. Okay, whatever. But I don't
if
know.
you prove it wrong, that means good. Then it's what that person is doing something in a good light. That means I'm wrong. You are doing something in a good, like, good. My hands are up. I'm done. That's fine.
Like I
only thought you were doing something in a bad light. That's it.
Prove me wrong. I love it. Yeah. And if I'm thinking the worst, prove me wrong.
Exactly. Prove me wrong and watch me go, oh my God, I'm on the good side too. Look, I let it go once I realized they were doing the right thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just room for growth. I know there's a lot.
Who doesn't like shit go? Who doesn't like shit go? Scientology.
Yeah. And see, I'm just the type, but I do kind of keep my head out of it. I have to, for my own sanity's sake, because if I don't stay 100% focused, I can't get diverted. I can't. So I was like, I don't want to know I don't want to know whatever. So just like, keep me out of it. Like, just let me have my blinders on, because I just need to fight. I just need to, I'm so focused, you know what I mean? And I have to keep that focus. I can't be diverted, because then if I get diverted, then I can't do what I'm doing. And I need to do what I'm doing.
Exactly. I'm Beatrice. You're getting banned from my channel, but I'm putting this up. Protesters were doing it their own way until DOA attacked them and criticized their protesting styles. If you cannot be criticized and you cannot be attacked by somebody who, quote, is attacking your protesting style, you can't take down Scientology. Well, so Beatrice and you're very opinionated, very one-way version of exactly not letting people grow and learn, because Scott himself has already grown and learned so much from even a year ago, let alone 6 months ago, let alone 3 months ago. So you're banned from my channel.
Can I add to that? I would like to say too, because like sometimes, okay, I mean, that's just, we want to keep it real, you know. There's things that can be said or done that are wrong, okay, by any of us. I mean, I've said things that, you know, that are wrong, and, you know, whatever. We all do that.
Wrong.
But why are you wrong? Yeah, but
wrong or sorry,
I didn't make the right choices. We'll put it that way. I'm using myself.
But what is wrong? Like, people are like, that's wrong. Why are you coming in with so much hate? That's wrong. It's like, hey, the way you said that hurt a lot of people.
Right. Okay. Right. So, but my point
There's a way to approach things. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. If that was say 6 months ago, why is what's happening 6 months ago? Like, sometimes you have to let people cut them loose from what happened prior and see what happens. You have to give second chances. You have to give, and people don't want to hear that, but, and it doesn't mean maybe be whatever. Okay. We're not always going to agree or whatever, but people can grow, people can change. And I don't want to focus on yesterday. Like, again, that's another thing that gets people tracked, is if we only live in the past, whatever side of the fence or whatever side of the argument, if we only live in the past, if we only live with what people did yesterday, then we're not giving themselves or ourselves the chance to see what we can forge for the future. And so I'm very, you have to be, for me, in my opinion, we have to be now, right now, and then forward moving. Like, I really want to forget this past in the sense that, okay, we mark it, we learn it, we learn from it. But
Yeah.
if we,
I don't even
it
want to
just
forget
keeps
it.
putting it up, yeah, but if they keep bringing up every little thing, it's like,
No,
like,
they don't. We do. We keep bringing up what the thing, and they're addicted to watching us. And there's here and there a comment that comes up, and I go, "Nice try, little bitches." Now,
and I stay
and that's
away
all
from
there
it
is
because
to it.
I'm like, I don't know,
Yeah,
because I'm
good for
like,
you. Good for
y'all
you.
don't
You
mess,
do
like
you.
whatever, like
You're
like
clearly
it's
doing something right because everybody is very much in support of you, Audit LA, and you're very wise and smart in what you're doing. So yeah.
that's right. And it's like, but I also believe that everyone, I believe in second chances, and and just trying to, if you see somebody progress or working towards, and everyone's, give everyone a chance to change and grow. Is anyone who we were a year ago? Like, I'm not who I was a year ago.
Right.
Like, are
I've
you?
learned so no,
Me
not at
too.
all. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. And I love that. I love that I can look back and go, wow, well, out of all of this, I still have grown and learned so much, and I'm different than I was a year ago.
Right.
That
And I
makes
still
me
have
so
more to
excited.
grow. Like, I can
I
also
love
look
it.
back and say,
Love it.
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
You're like,
Love
okay,
it.
I still hear this is a part where I still need to grow, and I'm not there yet. So can you give me a little bit of grace, and and with, help me maybe hopefully get there. Hopefully we'll get there. But it's like there just needs to be more grace and more love and more patience, tolerance, whatever, and just um and just not, it doesn't, I don't know. I'll just leave it at that, because, and that's for all sides. Like seriously, it's for everyone, the same for everyone. Like, it's not like him against her against, no, this is for everyone. Like, we just have to give everyone a chance to grow. Like, we all want this, like, do to others what you want done to you. You would want to say, well, maybe I've changed, give me a second chance, right? We all want that for ourselves, and we have to extend that as well,
Yep.
to the
I
best of our
agree.
abilities.
And it's one of the hardest things to do, actually, because when you're in the moment, you're like, oh, I fucking hate this person. But
Yeah.
really, the thing to do is to not be doing that. And
Well,
that's
hate
hard to
sucks.
do. Yeah.
To,
And that's hard to do. It's like hard to like get out of that muck because you just want them to fucking feel something and you're right. But that's actually the hardest thing to do is say, I can't do that because if I do that, I'm back in the muck.
but then it makes, right, it drags. Like, I don't want my soul, like, I
No.
can't
And we're not
function
going
if I'm
to.
angry and hateful.
Exactly.
So it's like, even
Exactly.
if like they say, well, maybe their motives, what, I don't, it doesn't matter. I mean, like, I just want to have a clear head and heart. Like, I can love you even if you're not doing the right thing. I can still love you. I don't have to
Yeah.
hate you because did the wrong thing, whatever. Like,
But
we can
I'll
still
allow
love.
it. I'll allow it, Audit. You
What?
can hate me.
No, I'm not. No, no. You, shoot, girl. If it
I'm
wasn't
just
for you, I wouldn't be in the. I can't hate you, but I don't hate anyone. I don't hate people. Like, it's just not. I just made up my mind one day. I don't want to be hateful. I think I used to be kind of a hater back in my day, but I have God in
it
my
felt
heart,
like
and
that
I just
was
let Him do His work and let Him fix things.
yeah, and it felt like that was the solution was if somebody was being an asshole or being hateful, it felt like being that back to them would hopefully make them reflect or make them feel how you feel or whatever, but it doesn't. It just adds more fuel to the fire. So in the other end, it's like, yeah, spending energy giving that, I'm not interested. If, like I
Yeah.
said in the beginning of this, if you're here and you're fighting and you're doing really intellectual work and like following shit through legally and through the court systems and through city officials and shit like that, then we're in for it. If you're not and you're just a wannabe like show off bullshitter, it's going to be obvious.
But you know what? Like, I know, and I have a little bit of a different opinion on that. Like, I don't even care. Like, people, like, I know they say, oh, that he's just there for the clout or the whatever. I don't care. Are they coming, and
Mhm.
are they bringing attention to this to
That's true.
other people? Like, I don't care. Like, whatever. It's all going to work out. If you're just there just to have fun with it, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's caring and all this. I don't sit there and worry. Like, I don't sit there and try to have to worry about what everyone's intention is. And like, I don't care. Like, I hopefully you have good intentions. I would hope so, But if you don't, then it's like, really, like, it will come to fruition and people will know in due time. I can't sit there and like let it, like, oh my God, like, and worry about all that. Because remember that at the test center, that was huge. Like, that whole time, oh, you're just, clout chasing everybody, was, that was the accusations. And it's like, so what? If it wasn't for that, it wouldn't have gotten any momentum.
Yeah.
That's if you're doing bad things. Like, there's other people, like, if they're, plants or whatever, that's a different story. But I'm talking about people who are
That
just
shit's
going there
obvious.
to,
The truth is that's just obvious.
yeah,
For me, it's very obvious. If you're focused on what you're doing, and you know this audit, if you're focused on what you're doing, it's very obvious to see somebody who's kind of fucking being a weirdo and distracting you. So just stay. And that's what I mean about stay in your lane. Stay in your lane on what you care about and focus on, because there's going to be little fucking cockroaches that come off the fucking side, little zit faces that come off the side. Zits come and go. And, they're going to come and go. Stay in your lane. Be strong. Kind of. You can react to do whatever the fuck. This is my theory. Stay in your lane, though. Stay on your purpose, stay on your thing. If you're able to swing a punch on some little bitch as you're going by, in words, obviously, or whatever, then do it. Great. But stay in your lane and focus on your thing, because that's going to give your end result the most momentum.
Yes, because you can't get off track. It's sad because you see
Such
things
a waste
that,
of time.
you start redirecting your attention. Then really at the end of the day, like I just want, at the end of the day, what's the goal, right? It's to no more kids in Scientology. It's it's unsafe pointing, they're safe pointing. It's accountability, all these things. Like that is what's really important.
No more billion-year contracts, period.
No more billion-year contract. All like that's what we have to focus on. The rest is secondary.
Not only that, I mean, there's the thing is though the tax exempt status, because the operation, the whole thing. Okay, Tori was saying this earlier. There's certain things they do not want repeated and no, say it out loud. Operation Snow White. If you're on YouTube and you happen to be watching this fucking channel or this video right now, look up, take a moment, pause it, and look up on another tab, look up Operation Snow White Scientology. That's it. You just have to type that in and you're going to go down a little rabbit hole. And within the 20 minutes that you go down the rabbit hole, you're going to get the big idea. You're going to see the whole objective of how they took over and bullied the IRS and went in and got a deal, and how certain people in the executive strata were a part of that. And they talk about it. The expert witness. I just got my book Audit. Did you get the expert witness?
I can't find it because I don't have a Kindle.
I'm buying you one.
Kindle.
I'm buying one, and when I see you next, I'm giving it to you.
Okay, because
I really want to read it. Let me run and grab it.
I desperately want to read it, and I will, because I really want information that I can use at these meetings. Because we're going to focus on taking down the cult and the mafia. So yeah, I would. I haven't been able to find it. The library doesn't carry it. I even checked the library.
Amazon.
I checked on Amazon. They only had Kindle, unless it's showing when I was looking for it.
No, literally, it took me 1 second. I was on Amazon. It said paperback $17.99. No, I'm getting it for you. You don't have to try anymore.
Because
I'm getting it for you.
Trying to find it. All I saw was Kindle version. I was like looking,
no,
paperback.
Audit. This book. Like, I'm going to open up one page, guys, really quick, just to show you. Let's just randomly open up a page and read it. Okay.
Okay.
Should I go front, middle, back? Give me a choice.
Middle.
Boom, boom. Opening it up. I received a phone call from Pat Broker, and he explained that L. Ron Hubbard wanted me to do a security check on David Miscavige to find his crimes. This is Jesse Prince. A good one. This is Jesse Prince, who audited and checked David Miscavige, one of the only few people who did before he left, and then no longer anybody really after that, other than maybe Marty Rathman or something.
Okay. I want to read it. Yeah.
Let me finish it. So, to find his crimes, L. Ron Hubbard wanted to know what David Miscavige's motives were for passing along legal advice that suggested he couldn't operate with impunity within his Scientology organizations. David was very upset by this turn of events, and I saw him cry like a little girl. That's a little bit rude there, Mr. Prince. Girls are very fucking powerful and strong. Boys cry like little bitches. Okay, anyway, sorry. David did cry like a little bitch is what he meant. David was very upset by this turn of events, and I saw him cry like a little girl. Dave swore to me he was only following L. Ron's own orders to get an all clear so that he could travel freely again without fear of subpoenas or worse. Dave thought it was outrageous that he was being asked questions that questioned his loyalty to L. Ron Hubbard. And he began to suspect that he had come to an end of the road as far as being part of the new management team. Dave informed me during the interrogation that he was not going down alone. He began to tell me about times he and Pat Broker had taken money that was being sent to L. Ron Hubbard from suitcases prepared for him and gambled away part of the money. As a matter of fact, it seemed like they both had a problem with gambling, and the problem was they were gambling with L. Ron's money.
Wow.
David Miscavige also mentioned being involved with hookers in Las Vegas, all at L. Ron's expense. Dave became very critical of Pat and said he had a long history of alcohol abuse and recklessly spending L. Ron's money. That was just
very interesting. Yeah, no, I'm interested in reading that.
So it just really breaks down the power hungry sociopath of David Miscavige's mind, his behavior, how he interacted with people he thought were loyal to him, and things like that. So, and here you have this man still running the mind controlling of people like Janet Whelan, Kirsten Casano, Peterson,
and whoever
Kendrick Moxon. And these are all guy. And not only that, Hawaiian shirt guy, but not only that, the people that are the big top dog lawyers, like on the current Jane Doe cases against David Miscavige and Gavin Potter.
So yeah, we need to figure out who they are and just what they're
expose them. That's it.
This
is the biggest thing to it. That's the biggest thing to it, is getting the names out and exposing it. Because if they aren't doing anything wrong, there would be no reason that they should be offended or worried about their information in terms of what they're doing and trying to promote in the world being exposed, what they put their time and effort into, why they join city meetings and council boards and shit like that.
Right. And see, they thought they were doing that without being known. But see, now everyone knows what Janet does and that she's there doing it. And now she's exposed, and now it's making it hard for her to do it. And that's what we have to do. That's why the meetings are important.
The meetings are super important, and you need to see who's there safe pointing and who's the boss of who that's safe pointing. And it's really fun to me. Like you said, it's like a puzzle piece. It really feels, and that's how I see it. I'm like, what? Even if I hate so-and-so, they went through a court case that got this. I'm like, oh my God, wait. So that can be like, to me, it's like, it's not a personal attack, guys. I don't give a fuck what your guys' issues, including with me. In the end, it's like, move forward, keep fighting. Because when you're doing what you actually came in to do, and taking down Scientology and exposing their crimes and getting rid of their tax-exempt status, no more kids in Scientology, no more elderly abuse, hourly wage, and real work work payments being made to Sea Org members based on the actual physical work and shit and the hours they're doing and the time they're sleeping, making sure they actually have physical places that if they want to be at Sea Org sign, you know why? David Miscavige, and they won't spend their money on this. They won't do it.
So we keep doing it, keep exposing it. So and at the end of the day, when it comes to any of the court, and I don't care who you are, what side, whatever, I don't even care about that anymore. Nobody should want to see Scientology or the government win against any protester or anything like that, because then so like I get discouraged when I see on any side, like nobody should be wanting that for anyone. Like they have to be put in check. The government cannot make things hate crimes when they're not hate crimes, and then nobody should be celebrating that, whether whatever side or anything, like I don't care who the person is, because right now it's just this person, but next time it could be the other person that you like, and no.
I'm trying to make it. It's right there.
Man, I don't know.
Look at what I typed in on Amazon. I just put in the expert witness Jesse Prince, and it pulled it up right there.
Okay, but then for when I did it, it says Kindle version.
No. This is available. This is available. No, this is available.
Then I'll go check and I'll go order it, because I didn't see it. I saw Kindle, and I'm like,
if you're gonna order it, then make sure you tell me so I don't get you it. Either way, I can always give this book to anybody. But It's right here. It's 17, whatever the fuck it says. It's on Amazon. And it's the paperback version. That's all you need. It has
That's all
all
I
the
needed.
information.
Yeah, because I went there, it said Kindle. I don't have a Kindle. And then I checked the library, and they don't have it either.
No. Yep, it's there. I just showed you.
All right.
And if
Well,
you
that's
don't
good. But
get
that
it
wasn't
within,
today. I didn't check today. Maybe they got them back in.
if you don't get it by the end of today, let me know. I'm gonna just order it for you. I should just order a few so I have them here for people.
All right, or I could just borrow
and
yours.
for future court cases. Yeah, you can totally borrow mine. Okay. Well, okay, so I think we were pretty clear just to kind of wrap this beautiful thing up in a bow. By the way, at the end of this at 5:55, I'm doing Artology for my beautiful music fan lovers and supporters of the anti-Scientology movement. I'm making I used to do all these old cool little pins, and I make them out of bottle caps, and so I'm doing a whole brand new goldenrod version of these pin bottle caps. I'm going to do like 50 of them, and they're for my upcoming show at the Virgil AuditLA. You're the fucking VIP for this show, by the way. 8:30, you can't even say no, Thursday night, and it's literally 5 minutes from Blue Building.
Okay.
And it's at a venue
as long as I'm out of there by 10.
Like, no, you will. Yeah, you will be out. And this is a whole different booking company and everything. So yeah, June 12th. So you're very well prepared. I'll even have a little area for you. June 12th at the Virgil at 8:30 p.m. If you guys want tickets, go to my website. Look at how cool I am. Look, see, I could be a professional if it's all set up and ready for me. You know what I mean? If you want to get tickets, go to my website right here, lara.fm.
And she won't be like Scientology, which keeps everyone out with the ticket.
No, I do mean all are welcome. If you're there to watch the show and enjoy it, you are welcome. If not, you will be kicked right the fuck out. Oh, hell yeah. Look at you. Look at Ashley up on her modding skills. She only steps in when it's really needed. So cute. Awesome. So yes, other than I feel like it's okay.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
No, it's okay. And also, I'm going to be able to help you audit. Me and Scott we went over a long time ago. It's a coconut moisturizer for my lip, but it has tint too. So I have a little bit of chopped lips. So I feel cute. I should get sponsored. Okay. Anywho, next show, June 12th, 8:30 p.m. at the Virgil. If you want tickets and you can't afford to come to the show, but you're an anti-Scientology protester and you're part of the LFM SBTV community, then you are allowed to get free tickets from me. So just email me directly. You can go to my website, like I said, or you can email right here. Email me directly. I'll get you tickets. AuditLA, thank you so much. I think our main our main mission here, even for our first little chat, is to invite people way more to call in on the meetings, invite people physically. If you can show up to either the LA commission meeting, the police commission meetings, the fire, which happens before the meeting, before the police commission meeting at 9:30. I didn't know that. So if you can
write in comments too, for those who can't.
I didn't know that. So if you can also write in comments and fill up that chat about the crimes and abuses of Scientology and how they're manipulating the city and their laws to not only attack the people that are exposing them, but also to continue using the city's money and tax-free exempt status and all that to get away with what they're getting away with.
I'll try to post more maybe on how to do the public comment from written, because that might make people just, whenever you do it.
Yes, please, can you do that? And also, I love when you do that. I know I'm not savvy at all with computers. That's been the problem of my life, but also it's been the mission and the hard work of my life that really only allowed me to work with people I really want to work with. So it's pretty interesting how that all came around. But it's really important when you post tomorrow morning, even if it's the night before, because someday I'll have like a fucking 14-hour day. And I'll be like, I have to shut shit off and get shit done. And I don't talk to nobody, and I kind of like sneak in a text here and there, but and I'll be listening and I can't comment. Sometimes I will be the listener that never comments, but I'm like, oh my God, I totally saw everything, but I can't do anything because I'm literally taking care of a human being. But it's so important when you post it. I know that Amy M posts them a bunch. I love when you guys remind us and tag us. Thank you so much for doing that. Because if there's a moment, I tell you, if there's a day that I forget about everything and I go in and then I'm like, oh, good, I have an hour. And all of a sudden I go to YouTube to see if anybody's live that I can support. And I see a notification that says, call in this meeting tomorrow. I'm like, oh my God, can I still do it? And boom, I make it. So like,
I love it.
Yeah. Anything that you guys post like that, please notify us all. Or just go to AuditLA's page, go to Amy M. I know you always are good about that too. There's so many of you, Grammy, all y'all.
Amy's become fierce, and you know, with
I love
lot
it.
of them, all
Sue,
the call, yeah,
I love you.
Fierce.
Sue, super cool.
Yeah.
I think super cool needs a Grammy from Frat Grammy. Just saying.
All amazing people. We have a lot of amazing people working on this stuff.
Yep. Okay, so I love you guys. So last thing before we leave. First of all, I have Artology. You better come visit me, guys. I'm going to chill out. I'm not going to be as serious with AuditLA here. I have Artology at 5:55, which is in about like less than 45 minutes. We're going to be making all those cute pin button things. And so come join me, because even people in the chat will get their own free little handmade little buttons if you're interacting long enough. But in the end, we really want people to email us, and individually. Let me pull up your email right now that I've put you in my system. We want people to email us and give us any information on Kirsten Catano Peterson, also known, as you've seen in this stream, all of her names that I think it was Auntie M or somebody posted up, Haggis, somebody posted up all of the names that she's used. This is super important. Kirsten Peterson. Kirsten Peterson. We're going to say it again. Let's say it together, Audit. Kirsten. You say it better. You say it better. Her name is actually Kirsten. I need to get better at that.
Kirsten. Well, it's like us all calling you like not
Lara, Laura, Lara. Yeah. I'm like, I don't give a fuck at this point. Just say it, baby.
All right. Like I was at Lara, but
you say it absolutely right though. You have the whole twang. You have the whole Lara. Yeah, Lara. Lara. Well, I'm gonna see Lara later. Yeah,
Lara.
Yeah.
But also we need to find out who
okay.
The shirt guy
so first
is.
one, hold on. First one is very important. I'm gonna fucking keep saying this. Kirsten Catano Peterson. Very much ahead of the OSA, if you want to call it, but I think she's in RTC, and she definitely controls the ethics and the PR of Scientology, and so she's the fierce little fucking bad queen in the Snow White. Snow White. Yeah, she needs to get the fuck out.
Made it to the top.
So yeah, Kirsten's right there. And then the next one is definitely Janet Whelan. Any additional information on her? Sorry, Janet, we got to get you out, or we got to expose you. So either way, let us know.
Yeah, we're gonna.
If her son wants to talk to me, I'm always available. Again, please email me directly. I'm right here. What's that?
I said that was bike guy calling, so he's gonna be calling, asking where's dinner. So
that's so funny. See, we're almost done. It's perfect timing. Okay, so email us exactly, and then the other ones quickly run them.
Susanna Furios, also known as Susanna Johansson from the bid. The shirt guy, and then Jennifer Koskoff and Olivia McDuff. And I know there's probably a couple others, but right now, if we could get those
are the main. And then for me also, of course, guys, is Kendrick Moxon. I'm on Kendrick and Jennifer right now. So those are the key people. We love you so much. Thank you, Audit, for being here. Your information, everything about you is fucking so needed. We love you. We love you. Is this AuditLA's? Yeah, this is your channel, I think. So that's very nice.
And I love all you guys. I love,
chat. Thank you guys so much for being here for both me and Audit. Next time I'll be able to also stream. Yeah, we're gonna keeping us floating under our wings, giving us air to keep doing what we're good at.
It would be so lonely. Can you imagine how miserable it'd be without? I mean, I love. That's why I love interacting with chat. I love.
Me too. I love it. And it's interesting how I can interact with you and chat when there's certain people I can do it with Liz. I can do it with so many people. There's certain people that I can do it with. There's certain people that I don't know them very well. And so again, I go into this, oh, I don't want to take up your time. So I'm asking so many questions and like interrupting them. And then I feel like, oh my God. But I just also feel like you're so comfortable. And again, you have this humble heart where you also are, you see an advantage of being disadvantaged as a human being in terms of being like able to travel and go where you want at your own fucking leisure and shit. And so you almost feel the same, I hate to say this, but trappedness and like not being able to, but without your consent. You're seeing it like children were being held under all these fucking situations without even having their own parents to be like, Mom, I don't like this. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go. Can I just stay with grandma who's a wog? You know?
Yeah.
And we didn't have that. And so it's so nice to just see somebody like you really deeply from your heart do it, but you're doing it so smartly. And so I love you. And I love everybody in chat. And I love everybody supporting us. And please email either one of me or Audit to.
Or you can CC us, like, or you can do both if you have like, right, you know.
Literally, whatever. You can do both and be like, what do you guys think about this? Anything having to do with the people that we've mentioned in this live stream today. All right. Love you guys so much. I'm going to, I always send people out with like my learning and loving, or maybe I'll send it with the, since we've been talking about the kids and stuff, I'll send off with the you got me singing in my head. They like that. It's a softer one because I'm learning and loving with you, but also I feel that now that we have talked about it, I think we can remind people why we're doing this. It was for children like me that were stuck in this cult, and for children that are being groomed on a daily basis by their outside Scientology parents, just bringing them in for a communication course.
And the government looking the other way because they're safe pointed.
And not only that, but Scientology literally replicated the government's organization boards and things. So it looks so similar to Scientology. So they don't understand what Scientology doing. That's so wrong.
Well, we're going to tell them.
Wake up. Yep. We're telling you now.
No more excuses.
All right. Love you, Audit. See you soon. We'll be back. Yeah. I love these chats. We'll do this again.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Somebody is searching for the right child. Somebody is telling you what's right. Now you're going to have to decide what you're gonna do the next step you take.